Welcome, race fans, and welcome to Off Camber TV's coverage of the Grandstand Sim Products Duels at Daytona for the Pacific Major Series. Right now, we are having some issues with the first duel. A lot of people were not able to register for it, and we've only got an 11-car field out here right now. Admins are working to try and fix the situation, but as of right now, it looks like we're going to go racing with 11 cars on the grid. You got Chad Barker sitting on the pole, Trevor Vavrovsky in second, Wayne Hutchison third, Lionel Callisto in fourth, Jason Fleshy in fifth, Claude Laval in sixth, Matthew Dunhorst in seventh. Eighth is Michael B. Thompson, Adam Young in ninth, Howard Wendell in 10th, and Brian McGreevy going to round out your 11-car field. As we said, we are experiencing some difficulties here. A lot of guys not able to join up to the session. With me in the booth right now, we have Katie Reed and Tony Knuckles. So as we have the pace car coming out of turn 4, we're going to go green here.
No, we're not. Actually, I just heard a in-race communication. They're going to pull off and they're going to attempt to regrid.
All right. Well, it looks like all of the cars are going to come off with the pace car here. Going to try to attempt to regrid. Cautions out before the green flag. So
the drivers have been instructed to back out of the session. They're going to relaunch them. So I would imagine we're going to go off the air here for at least a few minutes till we get this all sorted out.
sorry for the delay here. Like I said, we're going to run off air for a couple minutes, and we will be right back with the PAC Majors Duels here, sponsored by Grandstand Sim Racing Products. Roll the beautiful bean footage. Welcome back, race fans, and welcome to Off-Camber TV's coverage of the Pacific Major Series. Tonight, these drivers come to the World Center of Racing for the running of the Grandstand Sim Racing Products Duels at Daytona. These next three races will help set the splits for the Grandstand Daytona 500, which will be ran next Sunday at 5 Pacific time, 8 Eastern. Throughout these 50-lap races, we will have bumper-to-bumper action from some of the best drivers from the Northwest, Texas, West, California, Canada, and Great Plains clubs. With each race, the top 6 will automatically transfer to the Pro Split to set positions 3 through 20 on the grid for Sunday's race, while the front row has already been set. Earlier tonight, Chad Barker grabbed a pole over his Dog Bear Racing teammate, Mark Walls, so those will be the Pro Split front row for the Daytona 500. Joining me tonight in the booth is Katie Reed, and we have Tony Knuckles in the booth for at least race number 1. He will be racing in race 3 tonight. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm outstanding. I can't wait to get back in the driver's seat tonight myself in duel number 3. Gonna try to do my best for OCTV, Call Realty, SRN Motorsports. Donovan's on the car with Volt Vapes. Looking forward to trying to get the 73 Chevy into the, I don't know if I'll get into the Pro Split, but hopefully at least Sportsman Split number 1. But before that, we got 2 great races coming on here, and these guys are going to be trying their hardest to finish in those top 6 positions. So it should be a lot of fun to watch. Should be really intense.
Yeah, I'm just as excited. I love some super speedway racing, and these are the best cars here. So we'll watch some really close racing, watch some excitement go on, see what these guys can do in qualifying. There was a little bit of a mishap there, so these guys are doing a quick qualifying session.
And as in the real world, you know, the front row is already set. There's nothing you can change about that. Positions 1 through 6 will transfer as long as, in this split, Chad Barker doesn't place in positions 1 through 6. He's got a fast car, obviously qualified on the pole, so it's very likely that he might be able to run in the top 6 and move the transfer spot back to the 7th position. And in the second split, you have Mark Walls running again with a fast car. So couple ins and outs there. Definitely going to be a fun race to watch here. We've got 50 laps on tap for the duels, or should we call them triplets, because we got 3 races here.
Yeah.
That's an excellent point. Yeah, and the top 6, that's all that you get locked in tonight as far as the Pro Split. The positions for 1 through 20, I guess I should say, but because it's spread out over 3 splits, we got those top 6 trying to get locked in, unless there's like we said, there's a lucky number 7 there if one of our front row drivers ends up in the top 6. And this is a 50-lap race. These cars can go 39, 40 laps on fuel, so if it stays green, there's definitely going to be some strategy involved as well.
And looking at everything, drivers are granted a fast repair here tonight. So, 50 laps, everybody's going to get antsy towards beyond halfway. At least they have a backup car that they can roll out and, still have a good time tonight.
Yeah, and I think a lot of drivers are going to need that mulligan because they're going to be pushing awful hard.
iRacers be crazy.
You can say that. Yeah.
So I got about another minute and a half to go here in qualifying right now. Chad Barker, as in real life, or as in the actual qualifying sessions that took place earlier, he is again right up front with a 46.765. And to compare that, I ran a 47.040, and I just cannot figure out where they're finding that at other 310. So there's definitely some special things happening in the skunk works for those guys running the 46.7s.
Had a pretty hefty field here tonight. Trying to get an official car count real quick.
We got 32 in session at the current moment.
Yeah, it seems about right.
Yeah, we're going around the field looking for who is putting down qualifying times. Want to give a quick shout out to the 37. Donovan Johns, our own Donovan Johns from the booth, has a time of 47.066 and 21st right now.
And listening to some communication from race control, just trying to make sure all the drivers that are in here are supposed to be in this duel.
Yeah, they're going to make sure of that before they go green. They won't let anyone take track that is not supposed to be here. And most of these drivers are aware of where they're supposed to be, and if they were mistaken, they'll fix it right away.
We have a pretty big grid on tap. I'm trying to let a couple more cars roll out to the starting grid here before we give you tonight's starting grid.
Yeah, looks like 26 drivers have put in a time. A couple of drivers have not. I don't know if that is because they're not supposed to be in this session and might have made a mistake of joining or just decided not to put in a time. We'll check back then.
Well, as far as the actual race goes, I just don't see anybody getting around that 51 car unless they can pull some teamwork with some other drivers. Chad Barker, Wayne Hutchinson starting right behind him. That's going to be a hard pair to deal with.
Oh yeah, it just happened to be that way, right?
Yeah, 51-17, our teammates. You got the 277 split from second to fifth. They are teammates as well, so keep an eye out for them trying to hook up here early on in the race. Go ahead and give your starting grid as the cars roll off. You got Chad Barker on the pole here, Lionel Callisto in P2, Wayne Hutchinson third, Trevor Vavrovsky in fourth, and Jason Fleshley in fifth, Brian Helm in sixth, Michael B. Thompson in seventh, Claude Baval in eighth, Ryan Thoma in ninth, and Adam Young going to round out your top 10. Aaron Stowe in 11th, Scott Gruber in 12th, Howard Wendell in 13th, 14th goes to AJ Clark, James Harris in 15th, Michael Thunhorst in 16th, David Baker 17th, 18th is Scott Hutchinson, 19th is Chris Branson, and 20th is Chad Yoshitomi. Our own Donovan Johns starting in 21st, Randy Webster 22nd, Scott Kukas in 23rd, Ray Forner in 24th, Zach Telford in 25th, and John Ottenbacher being the last car to take time will roll off in P26. 27th is Mark McFadden, Michael Lane in 28th, Marcus Armstrong in 29th, Christopher Sherburne in 30th, Brian McGreevy in 31st, Ben Stover 32nd, and rounding out your field will be Tim Branson in the number 84, rolling off in 33rd.
Yeah, and a couple of drivers you mentioned there, I want to point out, Mark McFadden is not on the track at the current moment. Neither is the 62 of Michael Lane. Christopher Sherber is not on the track. Ben Stover in the 420 not on the track, and the 84 of Tim Branson. So the majority of people that did not put down a time are not racing. The 68 of Brian McGreevy is racing, but has not put a time in, and so is the 10 of Marcus Armstrong. He is racing and has not put a qualifying time in.
All right, pace car rolling off a turn 4 here. We're getting ready to set to get this race underway. 51 Chad Barker lagging back from the pace car. Going to give him a little bit of time here. Green flag is out in the air. We are underway here for duel number 1 here for the Pacific Major Series.
A very good start throughout the field, I see. I mean, there is nobody getting choked up really much. Up top, the number 2 making a great run right now. 51 did not get as good a start as he could have. The 31 pushing that 2 by. The 2 was clear for a moment, but not enough to get down in front of the 51. No, we got a caution back.
Oh, we're looking.
We'll keep working on
Oh,
it.
Donovan.
The 6
How you doing inside there?
is the
Donovan's
6
like-
of Zach Telford, and the 37 of Donovan Johns, as well as the 85 of Scott Kukas.
Oh, Donovan got run over. He checked up, and the 85 of Scott Kukas.
And there's
Looks like just the accordion effect. The 37 checked up, and the 85 got into him, and
yeah, just ants in
Yeah.
the pants or ants in the fire suit or something. I mean, that was a little bit uncalled
Unexpected.
for
Yeah,
Yeah.
unexpected to say the least. The 10 was involved 68,607, 37,089. Somehow, I don't know what in the world was going on with the 089. He got through that wreck rather well. That is the 089 of John Odenbacher, who we're a little familiar with. And of course, the 85 of Scott Kugas.
And you know, the 199 of Chris Branson, that's the car that checked up in front of the 37. He didn't just check up. I mean, he looked like he was completely off the gas. So I'm not sure if he just missed his shift or if something broke on that car.
Yeah, you have to think it was something that drastic, because you can watch the replay, directly in the entrance of turn 1, just stops. His car just stops. And of course, the 42 was on the outside of the 37, so he couldn't go up. I mean, he could have gone in the middle lane, but that was not nearly enough room for him to just all of a sudden check up and go to the top lane.
So unfortunate for a few different drivers in that one.
Yeah, looking through the replay, riding on board with him, he didn't miss a shift. He just let off.
Interesting.
So maybe a hardware issue with his rig, or I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, it's not unheard of. We do have some drivers coming into the pits. As the 255 of Scott Hutchinson is coming in, as well as the 46 of Chad Yoshitomi. The 10 of Mark Armstrong was involved in that. He's coming in. So is the 68, the 07, 089, all coming in back at the tail end of this field. Not surprising. The 199, who got, well, didn't get hit, but caused that incident, stayed out.
Unfortunate turn of events there in the opening corners. You can guarantee it. A lot of people, towards the back that got involved in that wreck are just disappointed. That's pretty much going to take away their chances of getting into the pro split. But depending on where they finish here and their qualifying times, they have a little algorithm that they're using to determine which splits these guys will get in. The better you do in the races, of course, the more chance you have to get into the pro split. But more than likely, all of these guys in the back are either going to be in the Sportsman 1 or the Sportsman 2 split, which we will be covering the Sportsman 1 split next Sunday for the Pacific Majors here on OCTV.
That race
look out
will,
for that.
that race will be going off at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. So make sure you tune in for that. That'll be a lot of fun to watch and to call.
Right now, looking at the field, we have, like we said earlier, we have the top 6 non-locked in, non-front row starters. The top 6 will be locked in. Right now, Chad Barker, who is on pole for the Daytona 500 for the pro split next week, is sitting in second. So that will put the 26 of Brian Helm into the transfer spot. He's going to line up on the inside of road number 4 here, coming back to the green and lights off the pace car.
Yeah, and I just saw the 37 of Donovan Johns rejoining the track. Looks like he's going to be either 1 or 2 laps down.
Two
He's
laps
showing
down.
1 lap
I
down
believe
right
they
now.
just went a second lap down because they had to wait for that pit exit.
So, and I would assume he had to take his fast repair. That looked like the car had significant damage.
Oh, yeah,
It
we
looks
have,
pretty clean now, so.
A few drivers took a fast repair there, so that's not surprising at all. I believe everyone, with the exception of the 6 of Zach Telford, has gotten off of pit lane.
So here we go. They're going to get grouped up. We're going to try to start this again.
Pace car is going to work the field through turns 3 and 4. Daytona is a long track, 2.5 miles, so we have very, very long pace laps working on barking about the 2-minute mark. But right now, number 2, Lionel Callisto, out front, going to take command of this field, starting on the inside of Chad Barker in P2. Let's see if he can catch the 51 sleeping. Green flag back out into the air here, and we are back on the way for duel number 1.
Yeah, beautiful start by the 2 car. He got out front in the 30s trying to catch back up to him, but the 2 had a little bit of too much jump in him. 51 of Chad Barker might hold on the outside, but that low lane has got the speed right now. The 77 coming up through the field. 26 following behind, 24 directly behind them. That top lane's trying to form. They're bumper to bumper, but they're trying to get that push settled in.
And we've got teammates, the 21 of Adam Young, the 90 of Scott Goober. They're riding shotgun motorsports. I've been running those guys in practice quite a bit, and they are pretty fast, so wouldn't be surprised to see them up here factoring here in just a few laps.
And speaking of teammates, you got the leader right now has his teammate not exactly right behind him, but the car behind him, the 77, is a 2's teammate. You got teammates working on the outside there in Barker and Hutchinson in the 51 and the 17.
Yeah,
trying to make the high line work.
Yeah, the 24 and 314 dipped out of the top lane, and as soon as they dipped out, the 51 and 17 shot forward. So might not have been the best call, but they're moving forward, and now that low lane is getting a little bit of a push now that they developed in that 24 314 filling in those positions. The 51 17 on the outside, you can start to see they'll fade back now as the 56 is way too far behind to give them any pressure push.
Coming to the line to complete lap 6 out of the 50 here. That caution will help fuel my strategy, though. As it stands right now, they still have to come in, depending on how much they could have saved under that caution. You got that high line really squeezing in there. 51 above the 26 and 17 above the 24. Really tight going through 1 and 2 there. 51 still hanging strong, but can't get past that 3rd position.
Yeah, trying their best, but that bottom lane is going to get bottlenecked here in just a moment because they're trying to be bumper to bumper. It just can't last every single lap.
And right behind this little PAC 49, the 11th place car, Howard Wendell, being the end of that one, is just a sea of red behind them as a lot of just riding shotgun guys have already caught up together. A couple of the Canada Club boys and another Alliance Racing entry back there. They're all working that bottom line, trying to make it work. Back around the 12th and 13th positions.
Yeah, highlight Howard Wendell, 49 up at the top. He passed the 99 on the outside, got a little bit of a draft, and he's sticking to the 314 on his side. He's getting that nice little side draft. You can see he's side by side now after being on the bumper. However, if he does start to fade, he'll need to get in behind that 314 before that 99 comes back, puts us back up.
Almost have 3 distinct PACs here. Right around the 21st position, back with Yoshitomi, Webster, and Ottenbacher. They're about 2-3 seconds off of the lead back here. 3.5 make that as they cross the stripe. And the 2 PACs here being buffered by the 99, they're starting to form a really huge PAC here with the top 20 in the running order. And 51 trying to pull up the side of the 2. Barker wants to take the lead back, and they've been fighting hard up there. 17 giving a good push at 51, got the 49 in tow right now. Howard Wendell into the top 5 coming out of turn 4.
Good Lord, I think he put some boosters on that car. The 49 shot up to the back bumper of the 17, and now he's right up in the mix in the 5th position right now, battling the 77 on the inside of him. That 2 and 51 are side by side for the lead here. They're trying their best to lead each lap, but they'll need to get pushed by these guys back. For the 10 of Marcus Armstrong. Oh, nice save.
Yeah, he got doored going down the short sheet turn 1. I couldn't see who it was that got him, but he's going to lose a lot of time here. 61 into him, James Harris.
James Harris, you are correct. Yeah, the 61 just, I guess, did not see him. And absolutely doored him. You are correct.
Just sheer speed difference over the last 3 laps. The second pack has went from being 2.5 seconds back to being over 4.5 seconds back. Just shows, you know, the side by side, you know, 2 lanes working together, punching a lot bigger hole in the air. The guys behind them are not able to keep up.
Yeah, up front, we still have that too. Lionel Calisto doing a great job leading this, not letting the 51 get out front again. That 30's doing a good job sticking behind him, not leaving him for, you know, leaving him for the dogs. The 30 trying to stick as close as possible.
Yeah, and the 30, Trevor Bobrowski, he's got no love. I mean, he's got teammates next to him and teammates in front and behind him, and he's just a lonely guy there, a lonely privateer. I believe he's actually running with anybody, but I could be wrong on that.
51 got a little bit of a run up. See if he can do anything with it. Looks like he's going to lose a little bit of time. That 17 trying to keep up to his bumper, the 49. Clarence trying to stick with them as well, see if they can make that top lane work. They're able to hang on up there, but just not able to get the run.
Yeah, with the 2 being the lead car, punching the most air out there. I mean, the 51, the only way he's going to be able to get around the 2 is if he's right there on his door, taking away the side draft throughout the turns. Just not going to be able to pull it off as they're running right now. Going to have some help from the inside, lagging off of each other. It looks like the 51 actually led that lap by 23 1,000ths of a second.
Nicely done. That was his first lap of red.
Oh,
17's around.
And the 17 of Wayne Hutchison involved, like he just got loose right at the point where Howard got to his bumper and just really upset the car.
Yeah, but I mean, great save from him though.
Really?
360'd and kept it going.
Not one driver hit him. That was beautifully done. Now, he did take a lot of damage after hitting the wall in a couple different spots on that car, but he saved it, was able to keep up the speed, so he'll be able to come right back down, repair that damage, possibly use that fast repair depending on how much damage he got. I do think it's enough to use that fast repair. He'll come back down. He did fall to 15th position, so didn't he could have.
And I'll tell you, some of the happiest guys right now is that group of 5 or 6 drivers who have lost the draft.
Yeah, definitely. Back there for 20th on back. You know, Yoshitomi, Ottenbacher, Webster, Scott Hutchison. Looks like the 07 went a lap down. Ray Forner during that last green flag stint. He will more than likely get the lucky dog here, get back onto the lead lap. Going to put 25 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, what happened with the 07 was he was involved in that first incident, but did not have to tow back, and because of that, go a lap down repairing that damage. Didn't use a fast repair, and obviously didn't have to tow. So because of that, he only went 1 lap down compared to the other drivers that went 2.
We should be seeing green flag stops. Now, they could make it from here. They are under the fuel window of 40 laps. So this will probably be the one and only stop we see unless we get a late race caution. Some guys coming down, maybe gambling with 2 left sides. We're going to go, or, you know, taking 4. Looks like the leader will stay out, though.
Oh. Yeah, the leader will stay out.
51-30.
77 will stay out. Oh, that was half and half, really.
Yeah, it looks like the 2 Alliance teammates are going to stay out and bring a couple more of them with them. I believe whoever's in that 4th position, I believe that's the 99.
Aaron Stowe.
Now, he's with Thunder Motorsports, excuse me. They got just the same color scheme just about. The 24 is an Alliance Racing, as well as the 98 of Thunhorst.
Yeah, I just want to point out, I was with the 17 Wayne Hutchison as he made his pit stop. He did use his fast repair there, so he has used his mulligan. No more from here.
Guys, I want to point out the wave around actually goes to Lucky Dog, goes to someone different. Donovan Johns will get the Lucky Dog in 2 laps down. He'll get back to 1 lap down. Ray there, the 07, he pit as soon as the caution came out. So unfortunately, he will not be awarded that Lucky Dog, and it'll go to the 37.
And just heard race control. These races are live admin, and they deemed that incident between the 17 and the 49 an aero issue, and no driver at fault on that one. So no penalties to give out.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks
normally
like. Sorry,
we
go ahead.
normally we broadcast a sports split. We don't get a live admin, so normally they just get post race slap on the wrists. But yeah, good to see that the race controls out here and deemed that a no fault.
Now this will be a little bit more interesting now with Donovan Johns fighting for that next lucky dog if he can. If there's a quick caution here, it'll be between him and Ray, and then we'll see what they can do. Because if Donovan Johns can get back on the lead lap, this might start to get interesting back there. Seems for the most part we had 11 drivers stay out. 11 drivers stay out. Chris Branson, I want to highlight again, the 199 was the I'll say the instigator to that first incident we had. But he stayed out the first time and he stayed out this time, so he is all the way up to 11th position. And before we get back to green, I want to give you guys a quick race summary. Our leader is still the number 2 of Lionel Telesto. He's led 14 laps so far. We've completed 15 out of a total laps scheduled at 50 laps, 2 lead changes, 2 cautions, and 6 laps for those 2 cautions.
Yeah, and I want to point out the as things sit currently, our final transfer spot would be the 98 of Matthew Thunhorst.
And that'll lock in at least 4 of the Alliance racing team or Alliance Motorsports team into the pro split. So that's kind of a big deal here. Believe the 2 and the 77 and all of them are still gonna have to come down and take service at least once, unless we get another couple cautions. Then they can save and maybe play the fuel strategy out to the T. As we're getting back lined up 2 by 2, real quick, I want to shout out race sponsor Grandstand Sim Racing Products. You can go to grandstand.com. That's GRAN stand.com. Go get you a modular cockpit. They have a lot of different offerings that you can do. You can piece it out. You know, they have seats. They got wheel stand, or you can buy the whole cockpit. What I was looking at, steel frame or aluminum frame stuff. Looks pretty quality setups that they have on the website. In case you are looking for a sim racing cockpit or just need a wheel stand, you can go to grandstand.com and fulfill your needs. And thank you to Grandstand for sponsoring the PAC Majors Daytona 500.
Tell you what, guys, I'll be pretty impressed if the 2 can lead all these laps and finish up front. We'll see what happens. He's no longer got the 30 car behind him, so he's gonna have to have a new pusher.
Well, he's got his teammate in Ryan Thoma right behind him, or Toma, I think it's Toma. But got him right behind him, and then adjacent to the 24, you got the 98 of Thunhorse back there. Pace car is off. Green flag back out into the air. Callisto out to a good jump, bringing the 24 with him, and the 77 on the outside of the 24.
Yes, indeed, a massive jump, I might add. But he's done it before, and he'll drift back to the 24. That might actually help 77 if the 77 had help at all. But that 98 is too far behind the 99. Aaron Stowe coming up through the bottom lane, trying to get back up to the first 2 drivers. The 13 pushing him as well, trying to get through. That 2 finally going to get caught up by the 24. Got to be careful, guys. There's a blinker in our top 5.
Uh-oh. Yeah, 77 just falling back already. The 13, AJ Clark underneath him trying to take over that fourth position. 77's got a little help from, it looks like his teammate in Thunhorse, but not enough to make that high line work right now as Kalisto leads a lap number 18 out of the 50.
And that'll put the 68 of Brian McGreevy up into that final transfer position. In fact, he's going to motor on past to fifth and put the 77 into that spot. That's the spot everybody's going to be fighting for, I think, here at the end.
Yeah, you're correct. And just because this is a super speedway, don't think that those tires don't matter as much. They do. You'll see these guys drift around the track up and down with worn out tires, whereas the guys in the back can hold their lane a lot better, and that will come into play towards the end if these guys can get back up to the pack.
Got a little problems with the 37 back there. Looks like he may have a penalty he may have to come in and serve. We'll try to get you more on that here soon, but right now it's just single file back to the 314. That's ninth place. 56, 51, and 30 trying to work that high side.
And I gotta say, it's all going wrong for the 37 Donovan Johns. He tried to come in to serve his penalty and ended up going to the grass in the infield, completely missed his pit. And he's gonna have to come back on track, come back around again, and try to get stopped.
When it rains, it pours, don't it?
It does. Sometimes you're the bug and sometimes you're the windshield.
Yeah, but not much changing up front. Like I said, the top looks like back to the 98. That's top 7, still single file. First side-by-side battle we had was 56 and 61. 51 pushing to 56 on the high side. 61, that is James Harris trying to work his way up there to the 6th position, where the 77 is right now, and take over that transfer spot. It'll be Thompson right behind him in the 314, and the 30 jump ship from behind the 51. Going to go to the inside, going to leave those two out to dry as they're coming up on a lap car up in the front.
Ooh, the 51 had to check up, guys. So did the 199. That took the 26 out of factor right now. Ooh, the 07 is so slow on the top. 56 got to get down. Ooh, he sees him just in time. Oh, he goes up. He's going to be 3 wide. For just a moment, that was very close.
Who's that on the outside there?
The 56 was in the middle of that.
Ray Forner having problems there. Couple laps down. Now, I did look at the forum before the race, and the lap down cars are required to run the high side when they see the leaders within a second of their relative. On their relative, so he's still sticking to the high side, but with the side-by-side battles happening in the middle of the pack, I mean that separated a lot of cars there.
314 out of whack guys back there. The 61 kind of ran him up the track. The 30 has to attach to him, see if they can push themselves up through the field right now. Trying to get that top lane working. Not much happening with it, honestly. The 98 is blinking very badly. Have to watch out for that. The 98 of Matthew Thurnhurst having a lot of troubles right now.
Yeah, and we've kind of seen that in practice all week this week. If you get a nice clean row of cars on the inside, doesn't matter how fast you are or how fast your teammates are, you're going to have to drive perfect on the outside to try to move forward even just a couple of spots.
Yeah, look at that push. That 314 is getting an insane push from that 30, and they are just high-drafting past this entire line of cars on the inside. And really, there's nothing they could do about it because they're all stacked bumper to bumper on the inside. You can't go anywhere.
Yeah, big checkup from the 68. Looks like McGreevy lost some time getting loose, maybe coming out of turn 2. But 314 and 30 are the new ones into the transfer position. 99 blew up. 99 blew up. Oh, 77, 61 into the fence.
77,
26, 56, 17.
Talk to me, good.
Talk about us all gone wrong. Wow.
Yep. Luckily, oh no, and we had another accident in the back. Trying to get rid of that.
And this
17 heavy damage.
17 of Wayne Hutchison had just used his fast repair. That's probably going to be the end of his
Yep.
night.
90
Yep.
is out. Scott Gruber is out. His engine's gone. His front end is gone. The 42's got some damage. We're going to have to list all these drivers. 199 involved, of course.
On board with the 26 of Brian Helm here, watching this replay back, and ooh, buddy, 99 blew his motor. 77 got into the 61. They got into the outside and just trying to check up. 56 hooks the 26. 17 involved, and just a massive one. That is the big one, folks.
Yeah, that was a beautiful job, honestly, by the 51 of Chad Barker to make it through that wreck. But we had a couple of drivers. The track was just way too full, and half these drivers just had nowhere to go.
We should see some of the cars come down here, try to take some service. 77 can come down and get that repaired, but still some strategy. 2's going to stay out. 24 staying out. 30's still staying out. And looks like the 13 as well. A lot of the people involved in that wreck are coming in down the pit lane. James Harris going to lead the charge down, coming to the attention of his crew here. And there's a car back here. It was back in the PAC. Decided to either dump the clutch or something. Zach Telford on the pacing here. He was catching too fast, had to lock him up, and he ran into the 42. The 6 trying to catch the field, run into the back of the 42. So wow, I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a mix-up between all of them, honestly. A lot happening. Again, the 42 was slowing down, going perfectly fine, but that 6 did not. That 6, he went to the top trying to avoid everything. Didn't slow down, which was an interesting decision, but something that he went with, and he got a lot of damage because of it. Got a lot of fresh cars, though. A lot of drivers having to use that fast repair because that was a massive wreck.
And here comes the 37 to claim his lucky dog. I believe that's going to put him back onto the 1 lap down. No, actually, he's not coming around completely. And there he is. He's being really turtly with it.
He's trying to make sure that each car is marked for him to pass, I believe, because he's had a couple of issues. He actually received a penalty early on after that restart, but funny enough, I did not see any reason for that penalty. I went back to watch the replay, and it said that he received it for passing under yellow, but that was not the case. So a little bit of a funny system we've got going, but it's okay. Everybody will get sorted, and we'll get back to it.
Just over halfway through duel number 1. We're still not sure on what's happening with duel number 2. We might have to catch that midway in progress. I don't believe it's been pushed back yet.
It's currently set to go live here in just a couple of minutes at 9:07 Eastern, 6:07 Pacific, with the third one rolling off at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. So we'll continue to monitor that. I'm not sure, like you say, I don't know if they're going to back it off for broadcasting or not.
But yeah, it's certainly been an interesting race there as I'm stroking out. Kalisto making the hard charge, trying to make sure that he stays in the pro split here. He's led pretty much almost every single lap. I think Barker may have only led like 1.
Yeah, 1 lap. You are correct. 1 lap.
So Vavrovsky's made his way back up towards the front. He's sitting in position number 3. The 24, the 2's teammate, is going to start to his outside here on this restart. AJ Clark making an appearance in the top 5, and Thunhorst back there in the 98. Another teammate of the 2 and the 24. sitting in fifth. Right now, Chad Barker, your pole sitter for the 500, is sitting in sixth. So the transfer spot is now P number 7. That'll be to 33 of David H. Baker coming to one to go, one to green here.
Yeah, 2 positions behind him. I do want to give a shout out to the 089 of John Odenbacher. We've mentioned his name just a few times. He qualified 26th on the field and is up to the 9th position. So a big gain by him, and that is good to see as these drivers are having some difficulties back there. But for the most part, they've done very well as Brian McGreevy. He qualified, 31st because he didn't put in a time, but he's up to 15th, so has gained quite a few positions as well. Now, we've gotten to the point where we've had multiple cautions, and a couple of these cars have been involved in multiple, if not all, of the cautions that have happened. And because of that, we'll see a lot of cars start to have heavy damage that cannot use their fast repairs. And people like the 42. The 42 has quite a bit of damage. That is Randy Webster. He is up in the 13th position right now, on the outside there, in 12th, I believe. So cars like that we'll have to watch for, because with these cars being bumper to bumper, if you have some damage, it's going to affect everyone behind you now.
I'll tell you, just one bit of a wrinkle that may be happening here. The next race is supposed to be going off any minute now, and a lot of these guys, spotters, were drivers for that race too. So a lot of these guys are not going to have a spotter now. Just something to keep an eye on as they go to Green Flag Racing here again.
Yeah, Green back out on the speedway, just completing lap 28 of 50 here. Kalisto out to a good start. That looks a little bit planned, so the 24 can get right behind him. 30 is that buffer between the 24 and the next Alliance Racing teammate.
Yeah, you're going to see all these guys be single file all the way to the back. And we mentioned them, the 42. The 42 is right in front of that P14. 42 just cannot hold it right now. That is going to hurt Michael B. Thompson in that 314. John Odenbacher on the bottom there leading that little pack right now. Single file as they float on back. Oh, 3 wide for a moment. Yes, indeed. 42 snugging down onto the 314. The 61 trying to get by on the bottom. They do, but they will continue to be too wide as the 49 is trying to get by. No, he won't take 46. We'll take him out. Oh, nope. Won't be able to save it. Oh, green flag.
Oh,
Still green. Caution does not come out.
Dude.
Beautiful save. My goodness.
Big shout out to the 49 for saving that, and the 26 as well. 26, Brian Helm was just in that last incident, so whatever damage he just suffered here, he's not going to be able to fix the majority of it.
56 is in the pits as well. 56 in the pits, but back up front, we've got single file all the way through this field for the most part, especially in our top 15 drivers. I think everyone's trying to settle in. We've got 21 laps to go. That's still a good distance to get up through this field, as these drivers are going to have to start partnering together to get up through here.
And I have confirmed a Duel 2 is starting as we speak, so we'll try to get the end of that one depending on how this one runs. And then Duel 3 will be starting at the top of the next hour here.
Yes, indeed. So we apologize to anyone that won't be featured at the beginning of that second race, but we will get to you as soon as possible. We're going to keep our eyes on this first one. The 2 still leading up at the front. Not much action. I think that's for a reason. We've seen quite a bit of cautions early on. I think everyone just wants to settle in. That 30 has had a nice rebound up into the 3rd position now as he's coming back. That 2, I think we'll probably see him back there. They might connect towards the end of this race. The 24, though, splitting those drivers. That is Ryan Tama.
Just single file for the top. Looks to be about 10. That's where you start to see your first side-by-side.
Oh, big checkup, guys. 089.
Yes. Oh, 61 into the 68 back there.
Yep. The 61 has been involved in quite a few incidents. Some 2s doing, some not, but that 68 was able to save that. Beautifully done by the 68 of Brian McGreevy, as these drivers are starting to come up on lap cars that have been heavy damage. Have to keep an eye on that. I believe this next one will be the 56 of Claude Belval, who we mentioned hit it when that happened between the 49 of Howard Wendell.
a lot of separation between these front runners here. Little buffer between the looks like the 314 is the 255 Scott Hutchinson in 11th, falling back to pick up John Ottenbach in 089, and the 46 and the 10 dropping a little bit back to get to 68, 61, and 99.
And the driver in the hot seat continues to be the 33 of David H. Baker, sitting there in 6th.
Running for the California Club. He's got that Chevrolet SS wound up and prepared to make it as wide as it can get here. Laps are ticking off. A little bit of a wiggle up here. 3 wide. 314, 77, and 21. 21 is Adam Young stuck on the outside there. 77 on the middle. And it looks like 314 is going to pass 77 and take 51 to the outside. It's going to bring the 77 with him.
And here we
almost
go.
have 3 wide.
Business is picking up.
The back was getting very antsy there. The 68 was splitting his way up through the middle. The next run, he went 3 wide for a moment there. Brian McGreevy did to get up to that position. Side by side with the 21 up in front of them. The 77 side by side with the 51. The 314 drifting up top with the 13, trying to get this top lane moving. They are. Look at that run. The bottom lane, a little bit of a bobble, and that was managed top. As the 56 out of whack.
99 in the wall. 61 gonna have to check up. We're still rolling here. 51 gonna pop up in front of the 56. 56 lap down car, but doesn't mean he can't help the 51 out a little bit. AJ Clark running up there with your leaders here in the 13 on the outside. 314, Michael Thompson right behind him, giving him a good push as they're starting to fall back a little bit behind the 24. Now side by side with the 30, gonna try to get a good run going through the try over here.
Yeah, AJ Clark doing a fantastic job of leading that top lane, and that's really where you want to be, because being in that bottom lane about 5 back, which is where he was, that wasn't really doing anything for him. So there's nothing to lose getting in that top lane, getting pushed by the 314 and the 77, drifting back now. That 13 in a really good position, battling the 3rd side by side with the 30, who is known to be up front.
And right now, that 314 is sitting in the hot seat right now. Him and the 33 are going to be battling for that transfer spot. Outside, starting to break up now, losing ground. 13 and 314 just pulled too far away from the 77, and a lot of people are starting to abandon that high line right now. As 51 pops out in front of the 77, thinks about it, and he's going to go back to the inside, falling behind the 68 of McGreevy.
Yeah, you can almost predict what they're going to do at this, because the bottom lane, they'll get a bunch of drivers in that bottom lane, they'll get bottled up, and as soon as they think they're going to get bottled up, a couple of drivers shoot to the top, try and gain some position. Look at that 13, he is doing it, battling for the lead right now. He has it, edging him the lap here. The 13 of AJ Clark is going to have to make it all the way around. See if he
Now
can,
he could move down. Is he going to move down? Yes, he is. He moved down and hung out the 314 of Michael B. Thompson.
30 is getting around the 24 on the outside as well, following that 314. That's going to put the teammates back together. Let's see if the 30 can help the 314 try to get around the 13. Two's pushing the 13 now in that inside lane, coming up on lap traffic. That's the 6.
It's going to get very dicey soon as the 13.
And Michael Thompson's looking for a break.
Kind of a 6, though, is so slow up on the top. The 314 has to get down. These drivers in that second lane have to get down, get out of the way of that 6 car, who is drifting further and further back. As these drivers start to go single file up at the front, the 77 going to be the first car, side by side with the 33 of David Baker, trying to get in as best they can, but they are drifting back now. The 68 of Brian McGreevy doing a great job coming up through this field, trying to make his way, going to the bumper of the 33 of David Baker, as the 77 moves down, and now side by side is the 21 and 51.
That's going to put Thunhorse back on the hot seat here, following behind his teammate in the 24. 33 breathing down his neck, though. 314's trying to go high. He's trying to get somebody to go with him, trying to get to the front. We're looking at 11 to go next time by. So it's getting down to it now. This is time to put up or shut up. We got to go now.
Yeah, something to consider is 12 laps to go. Seems like a lot, and if you're in the top 5, you can wait. But if you are in that top 10, if you're towards the back, 15th, you have to go. You have to go now. You cannot wait. And you see these drivers. Look at the 77. Look at that run. The 51 is going. 21 is going. 255 is going. All to the top lane. See how much time they can make up.
And this is really going to bunch these front over 13 up here as they split out 2 wide, probably 3 wide here in another lap or so, as these drivers try to get into that top 6.
Now, it's possible to go 3 wide, but everybody's just going to have to be on the same page that if it comes down to that, as the 314's getting side by side with the 13 heading off into turn 3.
Yeah, I think the best way to put that is that they do not want to go wide, but they will. They will do it if they feel desperate enough. Some of these guys they do feel desperate. Now they have to be careful here because they're going to go side by side for second right now. 314 doesn't have the run that 30 had to back off a little bit, so they'll drift back for just a moment. That 13 though, AJ Clark leading laps around this field, just led his 4th lap of the race. We have 10 laps to go.
Yeah, side by side, almost 4 rows deep here. 33 still keeping up behind the 98. 51 pushing to 77 now. Barker wants to get back up here. He wants to try to win this thing. Let's see, the 13 still out front. Got the 314 on his outside. Thompson, he's really getting desperate here. Him and the 30 been working really well together, though. Going to get some separation between the 14 and the 2 as they're working their way off of 4. This should help the 314 try to get out to the lead.
Yes, indeed. He'll get a little push here. Has a tiny bit of a lead. He's going to drift back up, and there you go. He leads that lap. The 314 will be your 3rd race leader.
Oh, they both.
Wow. Great move there.
Yes, indeed. A beautiful move. And they'll go down in front of that 13. That 2 who was our leader for so many laps, 35 laps. 2 is led, and he is all the way back to 5th position now.
Looks like the 51 is in that 6th position, so that's going to be the 24, the transfer spot, as we are still racing here, coming to 8 to go this time by.
Yeah, that 51 is not giving up. He is trying his best to get back up and almost break up the party now, as he is keeping on that 77 bumper. The 13 had a little taste of the action up front. He doesn't want to give it up. He's trying to get back up to the lead, and who can blame him? The 30, though, not letting anything happen. The 30 cannot get that side draft. The 2 trying to catch back up to him, but the 77 has a little bit of a run.
Yeah, 13 getting a good push from the 77 coming down the back straight there. 314 trying to use a little bit of that Brad Keselowski-esque type move when you're out there in front here. Trying to run both lanes, block both lanes. He's only going to be able to do that for so long. The 30's got a run on him. Thought about peeking to the inside, but he's not going to get there.
Yeah, keep in your mind that a couple of these drivers have not pitted. They have not pitted. The 13 is not pitted. The 2 is not pitted. The 24, the 98 have not pitted. Now, that may not hurt them, but if they're running so fast and not able to save fuel, they will run out towards the end of this race.
Yeah, that's definitely got to be on the 2's mind right now, as he's definitely been the one out front burning the most fuel for the majority of the race. Hopefully he saved enough under cautions, under previous cautions, to make it to the end. The 13 not getting a good push from the 77 coming off the turn. 30 is going to be on the back bumper of the 314. 314 still leading. Michael B. Thompson still under fire from the 13. AJ Clark here. His time is running out.
We've got about 13 drivers all together in this pack, but the back part of the pack is not coming, and they've got to. They cannot wait for this. They're single file back behind the 77, who's side by side with the 2. So these guys got to get going. They cannot wait any longer. It's 6 laps to go. You got to go now.
And Toma back here to 24, sitting on that transfer spot. A little bit of slip up. Looks like the 98's going to try to get to his inside here. 24 is going to come to the high side, try to help his teammate out, but the 98's also a teammate of the 24 and the 77 as well.
Gotta hang on here.
And I got to think that was a huge mistake by the 24 pulling out of line.
Yeah, he's driving like a dish towel right now.
That top lane is the way to go to get positions, but if you're losing time on that top lane, not dropping down to the bottom is going to hurt you. It hurt the 24. Will it hurt the 77? The 77 thinks better of it. He's going to dive on down now. Will the 13 lose a lot of positions? The 51 thinks of going high, doesn't have room, has to stay behind the 2. 13 going to get a little bit of a boost. You see this 24 get a shot from 21 as they come up through this field. The 6-8 out of whack in the back. They're going to save themselves a good job. And Brian Creevy as a 13 still side by side with that too.
Yeah, and right now coming to the line, they have 4 to go. If caution does come out, that is going to end the race at the previous scoring loop. So 314, 13's got a great run heading off into turn number 1. Still not around him though. 24 has an opportunity to drop down here. He's got a teammate behind on the inside, but he's
24
not
is
going to
trying
do
to
it.
think. He's trying to decide. You can see him almost thinking with his car. He's trying to go. Oh, as he dips below the yellow a little bit, trying to pass that 13. He will. The 6 car is a lap down car, very slow.
Oh,
Down
here we
Oh,
go.
13's around.
13 gets turned by the
There it
2.
is.
That's going to take Kalisto.
Oh, that's everybody. Race is over. And I saw the 089 just get by. It looks like Ottenbacher's going to transfer into the pro split here.
Can
Oh,
you
and we got
believe
some
it? The
drivers coming
21 of
bailing into
and
this
Adam
thing.
Young, the 089 of John Ottenbacher. What a finish for them.
Yeah, it looks like Barker finished. Still waiting on 7th place to come across the line here. Who is going to get that last transfer? Barker did finish in 6th. Will it be the
Was it
13?
13?
13,
Yeah, the 13
AJ Clark is going to
just-
transfer.
The 13 was on pit lane and the 46 on the racetrack, but the 13 crossed it first. Can you believe it?
That was
Broken and on pit lane. You can't time it any better. Oh
Well,
my lord! Look
the race
at
is
that.
not over yet. They still have to come back around and finish out the 50 laps. So that's probably going to give Yoshitomi the last transfer spot
Yeah,
into
you are correct.
into the pro split. I just thought it was checkered flag. My bad.
No, but I mean, he was on pit lane, and if he had just kept going, he had just tried to keep going, he would have held that position.
And that was
Unfortunately, though, he just could not make it.
a bit of goofage.
And as
you-
we
you-
go through the field here, we see all of these damaged cars trying to keep going here. Hopefully, those engines can make it towards the end and they don't have that much damage, as the top 5 is as follows. The 314 right now is your leader, Michael B. Thompson. These are some of the first laps he's led all race. He just crossed the line for his 8th lap led. The 30 of Trevor Vavrovsky is a big fan of 2nd place, apparently. He has been there almost all race and was probably waiting for his moment towards the end here, but unfortunately just didn't attack in time. He will be in 2nd position. The 24 of Ryan Tama is in 3rd. The 21 of Adam Young making a great rebound. Adam actually qualified in 10th position up to 4th. And a big shout out to the 089 of John Onbach, qualified 26 today, will finish in 5th position.
Actually, looking right now at the transfer spot, it looks like if the 98 can continue and make it around the 1.5 lap under pace, it looks like he is going to take the transfer spot.
Yeah, he's got a lot of, the 98 has a lot of damage right now, a ton of damage on the back, not necessarily so much on the front, so that might come to help him there. So I don't think he'll have any damage to his transmission or his engine to be able to get him around here. So he should be good. He's going around on the apron though, and that's because he has not pitted. He is not pitted, and neither has the 24. So we've got a couple of drivers up in the mix right now that haven't pitted, so of course they're going to try and save fuel. You'll see those 2 cars right now are the 2 cars on the apron trying their best to keep that car fueled.
Yeah, and the 13 of AJ Clark, he has been super apologetic to the entire field for that wreck, not realizing that the 2 car was there underneath of him.
Yeah, and he tried his best. I mean, he had a perfectly clean race up until then. Now the 24 dipped down below him, and I think that kind of shook him a little bit. And the 2, although coming quickly, 13 did have time to get down, excuse me, but just did not do it quick enough. Because of that, the 2 was on his inside, and yeah, ended up spinning.
Yeah, what a end to the first duel that we have on here tonight. As soon as we can get out of here and get into the second duel, we'll bring you live coverage of that as well. But a lot of the guys who were wrecked out in that final incident, um, now how they have it worked out, like I said, they had a formula that they're going by to determine who gets into what split. A lot of these guys, they qualified really well during the initial week of qualifying they just had last week. They could still make the pro split even with finishing, outside of the uh, top 6 or 7 in this case to transfer. So, a couple of them guys like Callisto or AJ Clark, they still have a chance to make the pro split because qualifying weighs a lot more than finishing order here.
Got a little bit of action going on. The 56 popped an engine out of 4 coming to the checkered flag, and because of that, all of these drivers are stacked up behind him. That's going to
And
cause
crossing the
a bunch of
line
trouble.
now, 314, your winner here for duel number 1 for the grandstand duels at Daytona. Going to results real quick. Michael B. Thompson, your winner here. The 30 of Trevor Vivrovsky going to come home in second. Ryan Toma in third. Adam Young in fourth. Ottenbacher in fifth. Then you have Chad Barker. And your final transfer position, the 98 of Matthew Thunhorst, going to come home in seventh. Chris Branson in an eighth. Excuse me. Ninth went to Howard Wendell. And Leonel Callisto still finishes in the top 10. Aaron Stowe in 11th. 12th went to AJ Clark. And your first car, one lap down, is the 37 of Donovan Johns.
What a rebound.
What a rebound for him. David Baker going to finish at 14th. Scott Hutchinson 15th. Claude Baval and 16th. 17th went to Chad Yoshitomi. Brian Helm in 18th. Ray Forner in 19th. And Scott Kook is going to round out your top 20. 66 of Jason Lashili. Well, I've been
We
butchering
apologize
your
ahead of time.
name all night long.
I believe it's Fleischli.
Fleischli. There we go.
Jason in the 77, everyone.
Yes. Yes. In 21st, 22nd, Marcus Armstrong. Randy Webster in 23rd. 24th went to Brian McGreevy. Scott Gruber in 25th. And rounding out your field is going to be the 6th of Zach Telford, James Harris, and the 17 of Wayne Hutchinson. Going to take a quick commercial break while we try to get duel number 2. I don't believe we're going to be able to do any interviews because of how the scheduling went. So we'll try to get a couple interviews after the second race, and if any of those boys who were watching who raced in duel number 1, especially the 314-30 and the 98, if you could come to TeamSpeak, we might be able to get you in after the second race to get a couple thoughts off you. But right now we're going to take a quick commercial break and load up the second duel on the night in progress.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to OCTV's coverage of the PAC 6 or PAC Majors Grandstand Daytona Duels. This is duel number 2. Looks like we caught him right here getting ready to go to a restart. We got Jimbo Pfeiffer out front with Mark Walls in second, Jeff Stabnow in third, Ray Partridge in fourth, Richard Hearn in fifth, Rob Gall in sixth, and with Mark Walls up there in the top 6, we got Joshua Wolf, excuse me, in the final transfer position. So not sure what happened. We just got in here and they're getting ready to go racing here. We're working lap 17 coming to 18. Looks like there has been at least a couple of cautions. We've got 6 different cars 2 laps down, and so here we go.
Yes, indeed. We're going to get going here. It's 0-0. What a jump by Jimbo Pfeiffer. That was an excellent jump by him. The 25 going to get down. And that is Mark Walls. The 19 of Jeff Stabnow. Single file with the 88 of Ray Partridge. We have the 31 side by side with the 70 of Richard Hearn. These guys are trying to get single file through this field. The 31 will drop down. The 7 is in 7th position is a 65 with Joshua Wolf. 126 is drifted back. Sorry about that. He's drifting back. That 26 is side by side with him. This is for 9th position right now, as the 126 just can't get going here. Finally going to drop down below that 20. No, he's not. I can't decide what he's going to get there. We go down in front of the 14. The 14 is Bob Beltrami. Sorry, apologize if I mispronounced your name.
Ooh, so Jimbo Pfeiffer got out to that huge lead, and it was so far he didn't have any help. Mark Walls and the 19 of Jeff Stabnow able to gang up on him and get around him. And as they passed him and completed it, and it sounds like we've got a caution out here again.
Oh, 135 and 270 have brought out this caution. A massive wreck by those 2 drivers. Oh, 3 wide. It was 3 wide. Did one. Ooh. Sorry, guys. 270 on the bottom, 111 in the middle, 135 on the outside. Not enough room for too many cars. 111 spins the 135, comes down and collects the 270. Up into the wall they go. The 033 got a lot of damage from that 135 after the spin, but for the most part, everyone else dodged that wreck. It was just too many cars for not enough space is how that went. Unfortunately, just not able to hold on to that.
It's simple physics. 2 cars can't occupy the same space.
Yeah, you would think that, right? You would think that some of these drivers, though, they're trying so hard to keep side-by-side drafting with each other, and just sometimes there's just not enough space. You're not clear. Your spotter will sometimes lie to you. You have to kind of keep watching that yourself, and lo and behold, something will come of it.
Yeah, we're looking at your transfer right now, 65 of Joshua Wolf. He's looking like your first transfer, as Mark Walls out in the lead. He is your outside pole sitter for the Daytona 500.
Yeah, and 3 of the top 4, speaking of Mark Walls, 3 of the top 4 drivers right now are from the Dog Bear Racing team. They are definitely a strong team. If you follow us with our Northwest Truck Series races on Thursdays, you know all about Mark Walls and the Dog Bear gang.
Yes, indeed. Don't look like there's going to be any takers coming down to pit road right now. Maybe a couple in the back, as the field has just now caught up with the pace car here.
I like what the 19 Jeff Stabnow's done with that paint. He's got the old Tide colors on it, but then he's carrying the Sim Stuff sponsorship on that.
That is a nice touch, to be honest with you, because I believe the 88 Ray Partridge is running the old Skull car at Sarge's place. That's a really nice touch from them. Looks like the first non-Dog Bear runner right now is the 00 Jimbo Pfeiffer. The 70, a part of the Alliance team as well. That's Richard Hearn. And looking back here, 31 Rob Gall. All of these will transfer over. Looks like he's running like a Fujifilm scheme. some sorts. 31, a part of the West Club. But right now it's all about the Walls Beard Co. right now.
Looks
Running-
like the 23 of J.D. Willis will receive our lucky dog. That will put him to 1 lap down, I believe. We'll have to keep a close eye on that. He is in the 23rd position right now, so 22 drivers on the lead lap.
I'm kind of digging on his paint scheme too, because the hood kind of reminds me of Kenny Wallace's Red Dog scheme.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Part of Dirty Dog Racing.
Yeah, for the most part, I'm looking through the field right now. A couple of drivers stand out to me. We have the 26 of Ryan Worley. He started in the 18th position up to the 8th position, so a nice gain for him. Back behind him, the 14, I mentioned him earlier, qualified 23rd into the 10th position. Big jump for him. And of course, you could fall the other way. And it looks like the 04 of Nick Hunt has had a little bit of bad luck there. Qualified in 7th down to 12th. We'll see if he can get back up towards the front here. And of course, the 111, we just mentioned him, involved in that 3-wide incident. Trevor involved in that 3-wide incident. He was qualified 6th, started 6th, and is down to 20th now because of it. So we'll keep a close eye on him as well. It looks like, for the most part, he has a decently repaired car. We're going to keep an eye on that. It looks very clean. Might have used that fast repair. We'll check on that, but see if these guys can come up through the field, see if they can compete against the leader right now in the 25 of Mark Walls.
Yeah, and if you bear with us, it looks like we do have some of the guys from that first duel. I'm not sure if we're going to be talking to them yet or not here. Yeah, let's
All right, we're gonna pull up. Hold on, right quick. Let's pull up the number 30 real quick of Trevor Vavrovsky from the last race here. Pull him up real quick.
Yes, Trevor finished in the 2nd position in that first duel. Trevor, you got us?
Yep.
Fantastic, but quick summary of that race. How do you think it went for you? Finished in the 2nd position, of course. Do you think you had something at the end there?
Yeah, but I think it was more for everyone else in the field. I was pretty content to ride around 2nd and just take the transfer spot into the pro split. But yeah, well, very solid car. Very happy with the performance.
Fantastic. Well, it was extremely exciting to watch you. What happened there? You kind of fell back a little bit. Can you explain that real quick?
Well, it was a bit of uncertainty on whether or not we were going to have enough fuel to make it to the end. So I came in early for the early stop and fell back to like 16th or so and worked our way back up to the front.
I got you. So pretty scheduled pit stop, I'd have to say. Well, again, congratulations on that 2nd position. Do you have anyone to thank?
Yeah, got to thank my teammates here, Travis and Josh. They're now racing it out, trying to get the transfer spot there in the 2nd duel, and hopefully they can get in and join me in the pro split.
Fantastic. Well, congrats again on your 2nd place finish. That is the number 30 of Trevor Vavrovsky, finishing in 2nd position in that first duel. And we are going to get back to the 2nd duel right now as we go live. The 25 lined up next to the 19, coming around to take the green flag.
Yeah, Mark Walls is going to have control on the field real quick. I want to say good luck to Tony Knuckles. He's going to be running into 3rd split here as he runs out the booth with his fire suit on. Pace car is off. Green flag back out into the air. Mark Walls gets a great jump on the field as they start to work in towards the first turn.
Yeah, we have seen that before. The 19 going to get down in front of that 00, 88 side by side with the 00, but he has no help. That 31 will come up to the front. Oh, as he gets down just in time in front of that
Ooh.
70, but it is going to be a little bit of a cluster there as the
Ooh,
70 was not
14's rounding
prepared.
back.
Spin in the back.
Caution back out on the
Oh,
speedway.
the 80 is involved, 29 involved. 80 has caught it. Oh my goodness, couple of spinners, but they all seem to have caught it. For the most part, yes indeed, every single one caught it, but a lot of them have damage from it.
Yeah, Beltrami just got turned there, working his way off of turn number 2. Looks like the
I'm watching it as the 80.
80,
I believe it
the
is the
04 touched the 80, put the 80 into the 14, 29, and the 27 teammates getting together as well. 14 made a great save, minimal damage to that car, but the guys in front of him just
027, 80, 29 all have heavy damage. Yeah, look for a little bit there that the 80 and the 04, I believe, of Nick Hunt, the 80 of Eugene Wilkinson, trying to just battle side by side, not happening as the 04 dipped down a little bit and dipped down a little too much. It looks like it might have been a little bit of netcode actually. Brought the 80 on up to the 14's back bumper. Netcode definitely there as the 14 gets spun, and that's really what caused it.
good old netcode. Well, we're going to go halfway here at the stripe. Right now, Mark Wall still out in front with Jeff Stabnow and Jimbo Pfeiffer running P2 and P3. We're going to see if we have any pit stops here. And we'll go ahead and try to knock out the rest of the interviews from the first duel.
You got to point out, J.D. Willis received that lucky dog last time. That was to put him one lap down. And because of that, he was the only car one lap down. And he will again receive the lucky dog to put him back on the lead lap, making him the 23rd car on the lead lap so far.
One thing that's been impressing me here, you know, through the beginning of the field, you know, beginning of these races, a lot of these guys are still staying on the lead lap. And as long as you can stay on the lead lap, you know, it's pretty much anybody's game, you know, with restrictor plate racing. So, you know, good on the PAC Majors guys here to keep their machines on the lead lap. So let's real quick, while we still have, you know, the majority of the leaders did not pit, so we don't have anything really going on pit lane. We're going to bring up the 98, the last transfer. Go ahead and bring him up from the first duel.
Yes, indeed. That is the 98, Matthew Thurnhorst. How's it going, bud?
Nerves are a little fried right now, but doing pretty well.
Well, that's good. It seemed like that was was an interesting race for you. I did notice you had a little bit of connection issues. How did that hurt you throughout the race, but somehow you managed to hang on?
I just tried to put myself in a spot, you know, wasn't trying to lead a line, just kind of sit back in the front of the lead pack or at the rear of it and just kind of mind my P's and Q's and not myself in a vulnerable spot. And I heard about it a few times, but thank God it held together well enough for me.
Yeah, and talk about that ending to that race. You were able to bring it on home in that 7th and last transfer spot. Talk about that.
Well, we and a few other of the Alliance guys had made the choice of trying to no pit the race, and we thought we needed 3 cautions. And as we came to the final laps, we realized we were going to be about half a lap short if we stayed green. And so we were battling with that, and we were hoping to get a caution, but it didn't help that we were part of the caution. So a lot of stuff going on there. I think Lionel still did pretty good. Little upset that Jason couldn't finish up there with us because he had to really battle back from some stuff, but we fought hard, and I think we did a decent job tonight. Got some stuff for the 500.
Yeah, I'd say so. Well, it's really glad to see you guys finish and have that, again, that last transfer spot. Really big finish by you guys. Is there anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, just Jason, you know, all the guys at Alliance, you know. Ever since I kind of come to PAC Majors, they picked me up, and it's been a really awesome group, a bunch of awesome guys, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us. Again, that was Matthew Thunhurst finishing in that last transfer position in 7th in that first duel, and we are going to pull up one more guy under this yellow flag condition in the second duel right now, and that is the winner of the first duel, Michael B. Thompson. What an excellent run he had, finishing in the top position, making it through all of that chaos. Michael, you got us?
Yep.
Fantastic. We'll talk about it. You had an excellent race there, came all the way up through the field, trying to hold on to any position you could. I noticed that you loved that top lane. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised about the top lane myself. I was hanging around in the bottom as best I could, but it seemed like I kept having to put on the brakes almost. So a couple times before that mid run caution, I decided to try the outside, and I managed to go all the way to the top. So once that caution came out, I figured I could pit and do it again.
I hear you. We'll talk about the that last caution. Do you think you could hold off those guys? Were you able to get back up there and try to capture that win if it would have stayed green? Do you think you had the car?
The last couple laps before the caution, I kept getting the spotter call that, you know, somebody was on my right, and then by the time we got through turn 2, you know, I was pretty much clear back to the start. So I don't know. They probably could have got a run, and it might have been like a 3-wide finish or something, but I was pretty relieved when that caution came out.
Yeah, I bet. Well, hey, a win is a win is a win, and you, sir, won the first duel. Do you have anyone to thank?
Just my teammates, Richie Hearn here in this split, and then Thomas Lovelady coming up next. They really did all the work on the setup.
I hear you. Well, we will keep an eye on them, and again, congratulations on that first duel win, and we will keep an eye out for you in the Daytona 500.
Great, thank you.
All right, yes, congratulations, Michael Thompson there on his win, and congratulations to Matt on the transfer there. We're coming to the green flag here in duel number 2 for the grandstand Daytona Duels here. Again, we should call it triplets, to be honest with you. But Mark Wall still out front. Jeff Stabnow, his teammate to his outside. Pace car making its way towards the pit lane. And it's off. Green flag back out into the air here. Back underway. Lap 28 up 50 complete.
Yeah, a little bit of a stutter back behind the 25 on the bottom lane as he drifts to the top. Can he block that top lane? Decides not to. Decides better of it as he slows them down just enough. The 19 trying to get some help. No! He's gonna cut up in front of that at the double zero. That is not going to work. Holy cow. Jimbo Pfeiffer, what a save. The double zero on the bottom lane. That 19 of Jeff Stabnow. He cut it very close. Double zero is going to have to remember that for the end of this race. The 88 going to get down into that third position. The 65 trying to draft up with them. The 88 kind of left him out to dry as the 65 is going to start going on back as the train on the bottom is coming.
Right behind him because of that big crash that a lot of guys had to check up for that on the inside lane, as right now Dog Bear sitting 1, 2, and 3 on the track with Partridge getting he's under fire from Jimbo Pfeiffer here. Pfeiffer trying to get to the inside, and 88's not going to like it if he can. Got a big run on the outside with the, looks like the
911.
65, 911.
Yes, indeed. That 65
real
looked
hard.
like he was held out to dry, but that 911 came on up to the top side with this side draft. And I state you cannot underestimate that side draft. That's a 65 and 911 keeping it competitive up front. They're going to lose a little bit of time now as that bottom lane comes together, but once they get bottlenecked, that top lane will get some time again. It's the 70, the teammate of our first duel winner, the 70.
Oh, wreck in the back.
Richard Hearn. Oh, we do have a wreck in the back.
I'll give up your car real quick.
A massive wreck. The 420 of Ben Stover. He is 2 laps down.
And another
Ooh,
car
he in the
involved
55.
as well.
He in the 55 brought out that caution.
Ooh.
The 55 also 2 laps down, so they were racing for position.
Okay, looking at the 420, he had a the 18 of who is that? Or yeah, that's the 18 of Seth Alberts, just about creamed the 420.
Oh yes, indeed, you're right. He almost smacked the life out of that car, and that is not what we'd like to see. Luckily, he was able to dodge it, and that's welcoming to to the eyes of these guys. The pace car having a little bit of fun with the guys up front is the 25. Mark Wall, still our leader, has led 26 laps in this race so far. 20 laps to go as of now.
And it looks like we're going to be pushed back as well for duel number 3. So we're pretty much going to have to run on the same schedule. We're going to miss the beginning of duel number 3. That's slated to go live at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Never mind. I did it right the first time. That's 9 minutes from right now. And we still have 20 to go. 19 as the 25 comes across the line here. Under caution once again here for this race.
Yeah, you got to keep a close eye on this because Ben Stover was actually in the lucky dog position. And because he was involved in that incident, I'm not quite sure if he has been given a lucky dog. He had to pit, so I don't believe he will. The guy behind him, the 55, also was involved in that, so he will not get the lucky dog. I believe it should be the 033 of David Sharp. He is 2 laps down. That will put him to 1 lap down. He'll be the lone car on that lap as 23 drivers still on the lead lap, and that's very good to see with 19 laps to go.
And transferee right now, the 70 of Richard Hearn, sitting in the 7th position. Like I said, positions 1 through 6 should transfer, but because Mark Walls is sitting on the front row and already locked into the race, his positions 2 through 7 right now, as he is your leader. So 70 gonna have to hold off the 31 of Rob Gall, the 126 of Mitchell Cornett, and the 124 of Travis Henderson, rounding out your top 5 there. Pete Costanzo in the 911 comes in to the transfer as well. He's run a pretty clean race so far. The 00, Jimbo Pfeiffer, had a brown pants moment there with the 19 off that last restart.
Actually, now that I come to think of it, the 70 is about in the same position his teammate was in the first duel. Michael B. Thompson was not always up front. He only led the last 10 laps. So he had to work his way up through that top 5, and it looks like the 70 is in the same position as him, trying to keep in that top 7 to transfer into the pro split.
I believe we're coming up to 2 to green here. Just looking through the field, a lot more riding shotgun motorsports guys here in this split. You're looking at the 027 Ethan Moore, Clark Archer into 29. Just trying to highlight a couple people. The 111 is an Alliance Motorsports machine, Trevor Clement.
Yeah, having a nice little rebound after getting involved in that 3-wide incident we highlighted earlier, so that's good.
And looking towards the back, right now your last car on the lead lap, the 135, Christopher Sherburne. Sitting back there in that nicely painted Ford Fusion there, Modelers Alliance. I like the X-Acto knife flag stick. That's nice.
Yeah, and I don't. I never like to see people who are involved in first incidents leave, and I think a good proof of that would be someone like J.D. Willis, who received 2 laps down. He was 2 laps down and received 2 lucky dogs back to back, and all of a sudden he finds himself in 19th position on the lead lap with a clean car, I might add. So never give up in these races. You never know what will happen, especially after last race. We saw what happened with a couple of these drivers. I mean, AJ Clark was up front, involved in an incident. The 2 of Lionel was up front, involved in an incident. So you never know what's going to happen in these races. You stick to it. You stick to these super speedway races, and you can find yourself up at the front at the end of this race.
Yeah, the lights now off the pace car. We're going to go back green with 16 laps to go here for duel number 2. Again, just a reminder, the 70 is your transfer car, sitting there in the 7th position. Want to give another shout out to our main sponsor here, Grandstand. For if you want to put together a little modular rig, nice aluminum chassis, they'll sell you a seat, they'll sell you monitor stands, and they'll sell you the steering wheel mount. Looks like some really good quality products they put out. You can go to grandstand.com. Grand without the D. That's GRAN stand.com for your modular sim racing needs. Again, thanks to them for sponsoring the Pacific Majors Daytona 500, which will be live on next Sunday at 8 Pacific time. Or 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, excuse me. Pace car rolling the field up to the start-finish line once again. Going to make that hard left turn down to the pit lane. Mark Walls is gone. Green flag back out into the air. 16 to go here at Daytona.
Yeah, it shot out of a cannon. It's more like it. The 19 going to get down in front of that 88 and 65 side by side. 65 getting a little bit of side draft, but no room to get down. No room to get down. Cannot squeeze in between the 19 and 88. He's going to have to drift back, see if the 00 let him down, but I doubt that will happen. Look at the boost he's getting. Jimbo Pfeiffer on the bottom trying to get that 5th position, hanging close. The 911 on the outside of the 124 back there. That is the 124 of Travis Henderson, who is now finds himself in that last transfer position as the 911. Back again on this. If this were the last lap, that 124 would have it by a nose. And that's what we have to keep track of. The 65, though, up front, floating on back here is the 00 trying to get by him. The 70 is drafting away. See if he can get by that 65. Not getting any help right now. The 124 going to jump up. See if he can provide any assistance at this point. Doesn't look like it's going to help. Just a little bit, though. See if he can get anything going here. As that top lane we saw in the first duel, it could happen. You could drive all the way up past this bottom lane and you see it start to happen, that side draft. Don't underestimate that side draft. The 19, 88, and 00 bumper to bumper, that's going to drift them backwards. That 65 is going to get a little bit of a boost here.
Yeah, 65 up there beside the third place car, the 88 on the ring cartridge right now. Working with Travis Henderson in a 124, trying to get to the point here. Looks like he's almost there to get side by side with the 19, getting a really good run with this side draft here. 25 doing the same as the 314 did in the first race, trying to run both lanes at the same time. Try to stall out the 65, and it did. 124 looks like he's going to abandon his buddy there, fall in line in front of the 00. And
Yes,
the
indeed,
70 and the 911 back here battling for the transfer spot. 65 is going to duck in front of the 124. But Pete Costanza and Richard Hearn battling for that last transfer spot. 911 is going to get hung out to dry here.
Yeah, don't give it to either one because that 26 has his own position to be held right now in 9th position. Mitchell Cornett trying to make his way up through. 26 pushing back behind him. That is Ryan Worley. They are trying to get up front. 31's going to have something to say about it. Oh my goodness. 111 out of whack. Beautiful save by him, but up front, these guys are still competing for a spot here as everyone is starting to gang up about around the 7th position, and that's not a coincidence. They are trying to get up to the front as fast as they can, and that's starting to have a few issues back in the pack. People are checking up, and that is going to cause an accident if they don't be careful.
Through line back there with 14 sandwiched in the middle, but back up front here, 911 working side by side with that 00 of Jimbo Pfeiffer. He's still looking to get into that transfer position. 911 working his way. He's got Fujifilm, I believe that's the 31 right behind him. 26 in line there as well as the 04 Nick Hunt. That 4th car in line on that outside line. 911 beside the 65 now. They're making a good headway here coming down the backstretch.
Yeah, it looked like the 00 had to stick his nose out and get a little bit of air on that. And because of it, the top lane got a little bit of run here. That 911, who not one lap ago, completely out of the transfer position, is now competing for third position, fourth right now on the outside of that 65. How things can change, and that is exactly the point. Keeping your head in play, and let's see if anything can happen as the 911 is getting pushed by the 31. The 31 now in contention. That is Rob Gall making his way up through the field.
Richie Hearn moved all the way from being in the transfer position to 11th.
Yeah, that is
across the
top,
line last time.
Yeah, that's the top 11 right there in your picture. So all of these drivers competing for those top 7 positions, they can't all make it. They know they can't all make it, and they have to find a way to get up through each other, try to finish as high as they can. Keep in mind, they are 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 as they go down this front stretch here, and they are competing as fast as they can, trying to make their way up. And we see them side draft. A couple of them get a little too close for comfort there as they have to separate. Oh, 911 with a little bit of a blink. Got to be careful there.
Yeah, 19 looked like he wanted to poke out right in front of the 911 there. That's Jeff Stab now. He wants to try to get a win here. He does have teammate Juan Walls in front of him, and the 88 Ray Partridge right behind him. 911's kind of blinking a little bit. That's not going to be very good for the draft here, as he is still pulling up alongside the 19, working their way into turn number 3. 31, not exactly as close as would be preferable here, but still that outside line definitely developing good here between the 911, 31, 26, and 04. They're working it now.
Yeah, 9 laps to go, and I think we can positively say, we'll watch after this race, but I think we can say from what we've watched that this race, the leaders, much more defensive racing than our first race. A lot of them continually using that top line to get that top position. These guys, the 25, the 19, they're veteran drivers. They know how to keep those top spots, and they're trying their best. The 19 drafting bumper to bumper with that 25 to 911, trying to make his way up to the 19, but just can't get there. The furthest he can go up, side by side with that 88. Now as he drifts back, I don't think anyone is going to get to the outside of that 19 unless Jeff Stab now lets them.
Yeah, and see, that's the advantage with having teammates, especially having teammates towards the front. You know how the guy in front of you is going to race. You know how the guy behind you is going to race. So that's a great advantage for that trio leading the charge on the inside lane. Pete Costanzo, though, he wants to get up there. He's going to have a lot of help from Rob Gall in that 31 and that 26 of Ryan Worley. Right now, the 124, Travis Henderson, is your transfer spot sitting there in that purple car, 5 cars deep in the bottom lane.
Ooh, back behind him, 3 wide for a moment there. 04 of Nick Hunt. The 23, my goodness, the 23 of J.D. Willis making his way up. Just won 2 lucky dogs. Is finding his way up into the top 10. Can you believe it?
Yeah, he is putting on a drive for the ages right now. He's definitely rebounded pretty good. 3 wide there.
My goodness.
With the 70.
I
And
cannot believe
wow.
what I am seeing. The 23 just ran all the way to the high side and said, excuse me, come through, excuse me.
Back up front, the 911's beside the 19. 31 was not there to give him the good boost down the backstretch. 911 going to lose a lot of momentum heading off into turn 3. And we're still getting dicey up here. We have the top 15 cars still in striking distance of the lead. A lot of these guys have been sitting here pushing for a long time. We might see some water temps start to climb. We might see a blown motor as we did the first race with the 99.
Yeah, we've got 6 laps to go, guys. So one more time around, if caution comes out, that is the end of the race. Keep a close eye on the 7th position, and it's held by the 124. But again, that 31, 65, 26, 23, all involved in that tiny little pack right there. As these guys are trying to keep it close, they're trying to pull away from the 2 wide battle back there, but they're not doing a good job. That 45 is bumping his way up to that pack. He can make a difference. 23 held down on the bottom, has nowhere to go. The 124 has nowhere to go as that 31 drifted up, and he is now trying to compete, trying to reach in front of that pack.
Yeah, it's go or go home time now for these drivers. 911 Pete Costanzo working that outside lane. That 45 of Wanba, he's brought the second group up to the top group. 911 is falling back a little bit, though. 31 going to have to get on that bumper. Has a big checkup on the bottom here. 911 looks like he's got shot out of a cannon, pulling up beside the 19 here.
Yeah, it's that checkup. Absolutely that checkup. And because of that, the 26 of Ryan Gurley now holds that transfer position. Can he stay in front of the 124? He can get down. He is clear. Will he get down in front of that 124? Because that is the transfer position. He doesn't. He lets the 124 in, and that's going to hurt him. The 124 is going to draft side by side with him. 4 to go.
Still that high line. It was working for the 911. Looks like the bottom was a little bit more organized coming through the front stretch there. Coming out of turn number 2, 911 back there to the 65. I believe there's a lap car getting ready to come into effect as well. In front of the leaders here. 31, 26 still behind the 911 on the outside. This is going to be interesting. 3 laps to go as they cross the start-finish line. I do not know who that slow car is. Looks like the 15 maybe of...
Yeah, 15 all the way up to the top. He's got to go 3 wide here. 3 wide, 3 wide, 3 wide. Got to be careful. Hold it down. Top. If these guys can get by, Viper make it a little interesting, but thankfully the 911 side by side with that 64, 124 is holding the 6th position. The 23 of JD Willis. I cannot
65.
stress enough.
Makes the move to the outside there in front of Enzo. Had to check him up a little bit. The 26 did abandon the high line, though. But here comes the 65. Going to see if the 911 can push him to the front.
Yes, indeed. That 65. He slowed down that top. That's going to end up hurting him for just a moment. He's still in the transfer position. Doesn't have that much to worry about right now. He just got to get that side draft, get back up there. The 23, JD Willis, breaking his way into the top 5. The top 5 after coming in with 30 laps to go. He was 2 laps down.
To be honest with you, it doesn't look like the 911 wants to work with the 65 on the outside here. 23 real close to 65. 65 getting a good side draft coming off of turn number 2. 124 giving a shot to the 88.
You're right. They're side drafting bad. That 65 is depending on that side draft because the 911, I agree with you, is...
88 blown up. Oh, 911's in it. Everybody's in it. Again, caution is out. That's going to end it at the line.
The 70 of Richard Hearn. He is in the transfer position going slow. Can he make it back? They've got to make it around 2 laps to go. They still have to make it back around.
Is going to win this race with Stab now behind him. The 26 of Ryan Worley. JD Willis with a banged up car in 23rd. 65 Joshua Wolf looks like he's going to come home in 5th. Scott Wanbaugh at 45 looks like he's got 6th. And it looks like if he can make it back around 3 more corners, Richard Hearn will make the transfer into the pro split. Heartbreaking for that 911.
You are correct. With no hood whatsoever, and these guys are trying to coast back.
I mean, that was awful. 88 just running, pushing his teammates there. Ray Partridge pops a motor going into turn number 3, stacks up everybody. 124, 23 involved, 65 involved, 31.
Yeah, I'm going to count down real quick since I've got a freeze frame here just to help you. The 65, 26, 23, 111, 88, 31, 124, 44, 911, 70, 04, 00, 126. Going through, we basically had half the field involved. Let's just say that, at least half the field involved.
Now, it might not be under green flag conditions, but the pace car is leading. The number 25, Mark Walls, is going to be your winner here for duel number 2.
Yes, indeed, and really that's all that matters for him. He's already got that spot, but it doesn't matter. Mark Walls is the type of driver that will make it up to the front, hold that position, and win those races. But a big shout out to the 70 of Richard Hearn, able to bring that badly bruised car home in 7th position.
All right, real quick, I'm going to go through the results and then hop into the 3rd split, which is about 10 minutes in right now. You're looking at Mark Walls, your winner here tonight for duel number 2. The Grandstand Daytona Duels. Jeff Stabnow in 2nd, Ryan Worley in 3rd, JD Willis 4th, Joshua Wolf in 5th, Scott Wanbaugh in 6th, and Richard Hearn, your final transfer to the pro split in 7th. Pete Costanzo just misses it by 1 spot there. going to come home in 8th. Jimbo Pfeiffer in 9th. And Mitchell Cornett going to round out your top 10. Travis Henderson, Bob Beltrami, Eugene Wilkinson, Robert Laronde, and Ethan Moore are your next 5 finishers. In 16th, you have Mark Redeker, Christopher Sherburne in 17th, Clark Archer 18th, 19th, Rob Gall, to 15 of Eddie Bussieri. Pretty sure I butchered your name too, bud. David Sharp in 21st, Trevor Clement in 22nd, Ray Partridge grenaded the engine and caused that massive pile up there in turn 3. He's going to come home in 23rd. Nick Hunt in 04 in 24th. 25th is Ben Stover. Jeremy, I had the Testar in 26th. Alberts in 27th, South Alberts, Seth Alberts, and James Wyckoff rounding out your field. So congratulations again. Well, we already know where at least 2 of them are. If Richard Hearn and the number 70 would kindly join our team speak, we would like to get an interview with you during the next race.
Yes, indeed. We're going to take a short break here, guys, as we switch over to that third duel we just mentioned, and we will be back with you in just a moment.
All right, hello race fans, and welcome to coverage of duel number 3 here tonight for the PAC Majors series. Qualifying, trying to set the field for the Grandstand Daytona 500 next Sunday. We're joining mid-race. Races have been overlapping. Right now, your leader, number 27, Michael Smith. Second is Mike Franklin, Blake Reynolds in third, Michael Lane in fourth, and Tom Dreiling rounding out your top 5. And it looks like we have a little bit of action here back around the 06. The 01 of Brett Wade making his way around the outside of Brian Bennett. Then you have Brian Barnes in the 4 right behind them. getting overtaken by the 60 of Thomas Lovelady. Drew DeLon right behind him, 101 of Andy Kennedy. We got a little bit 3 wide, 01, 06, 62, 01, almost into the wall there. 01 turn to 3, still 3 wide on the outside, got the 60 and the 40 inside of them. This is going to complete lap number 10 of the 50 scheduled, and it don't look like a lot of people want to make it to lap 50 right now. 3 wide, still looks like it's going to calm down. Everybody's going to get back into line on the outside row. That was scary for a couple laps there. And the 06 working that high side with the 60 right behind him. Lovelady pushing Dryling. Looks like the 67 is going to come up with the 82. They're going to try to get around the 27. It'll be easy, breezy, beautiful cover around the number 27 on the high side for the 82. Mike Franklin to the point right now. Looks like they're trying to dive in front of the 27, but it's not going to work. Looks like the 67, there he goes, back to the inside. New leader here, Mike Franklin leading his first laps of the race. As we are getting really, really, really screwy on that high side. A lot of people are itching to go. And it's not exactly working out for him. So at 60, he's turning himself into a little bit of a weapon here. He's going to have to calm it down and, you know, keep the laps ticking on this race here.
Yes, indeed. Back in the PAC, 60 side by side with 71, still competing there. That is Thomas Lovelady. As 60 is the teammate of the 2 gentlemen that have transferred so far, Michael Thompson and, of course, Richard Hearn, who just transferred in. He can transfer with his 2 teammates here as the 27 tries to make it interesting on the outside of the 67 and shot to the front as the 06. Good Lord, did he get shot out of the umbrella. He is trying to make his way through the field, but that 27 is going to stop him, and he's going to fade right on back.
Yeah, we can definitely tell just from these 3 laps that we've been able to call. These guys are 20 times more aggressive than the other 2 races have been. These boys, especially on the outside, are ready to go, and they are deep throughout the field. Do have a lap car coming up. I believe that's the 84, Tim Branson, that the field is getting ready to come up on. Very slow on the outside. Gonna have to be careful with as sporadic as the outside's movements have been throughout this little short.
Ooh, closing down on the 27.
So close.
Gotta be careful here.
So close.
The 60 trying to go down the 101, the 01, the 75.
101
These guys
touches
are all
him.
on the outside. 84 is gotta come clean.
101 touched the 84.
Yeah, the 01 digging down the 23 now, trying to keep it clear.
And you know, 84 falling back here, getting ready to get overtaken by another 2 wide battle. That looks like the 48 of Mark McFadden back there, running the Club Canada colors. Just got by him. And our own Troy Anderson, the 73, trying to work his way back. He's back into second right now. He's got the 84 right there. And he's working with Jared Morgan back in 96. So that could be a little Dono connection that happened right there. Back up front, though, got the 27, Michael Smith, who wants to get back to the lead, working as his teammate 60. 27 has the race sponsor on his machine, Grandstand. And yes, his teammate right behind him in the 60 and Thomas Lovelady. They're trying to work together, try to get back out to the front. The 82 making a good showing for the Riding Shotguns Motorsport crew. Long laps.
And right now, I do want to apologize, guys. We're having some technical difficulties. You now have video on the screen. I do apologize. Hopefully, we're trying to keep you well informed. 27 now side by side. The 62 up front. This is the 27 of Michael Smith trying to get in on the action. The 62 drifting back on that 71, almost getting angles for 10. Almost thinking about taking it to the inside of the 60, but taking it 3 wide. Probably not the best way to go with 35 laps still to finish.
Yeah, really aggressive real early from these guys. Again, now this is just the top 6 will transfer right now. at the line, the 101 of Andy Kennedy would have been the last transfer into the pro split. But still a lot of racing left to go, and a lot of exchanging of positions to be had here. Like I said, really aggressive so far in the beginning. It's gonna come down to who can not get in somebody else's stupid.
I think that's one way to put it. Absolutely. That 27, though, making it a little bit of a race right now. Second position, apologize. The 67, though, holding tight up down on the bottom. That 82 is definitely not letting them get by, and who could blame him? That 82, Mike Franklin, leading these laps. One by one they go, as the 60 now battling the outside of that 62. The 10 trying to catch up to the 71. Cannot do it. The 01 with a little bit of a bottle back there. Making it interesting. As the 4 catches them. That is Brian Barnes. You're very familiar with him if you watch our Thursday night races. Brian Barnes trying to make his way up through the field. He'll get down on the bottom there. The 75 makes his way to the outside. Jeremy Morrison bringing a whole pack of cars.
And it's pretty funny because sitting right now, on the track, 2nd, 4th, and 6th, they're all teammates. But Brian Bennett does not want to come up to the high side and give up that little position that he has. And he's right in between 2 teammates as well in the 62 and the 06 of Dreiling and Michael Lane. So that high side still working pretty good. The 27 is up beside the 2nd place driver in the 67 of Blake Reynolds. And Blake Reynolds made a great push to the 82 to get him to the lead. I believe he is his dancing partner right now, as the 27 makes a great run to the high side, the outside of the 82. Not going to have a good run through the middle, but still good enough to hang there with the leader.
Yeah, I agree with you in the way these guys are being aggressive, but they're able to hang tight with each other, and that's what's really important. Keep it clean, guys. Got to keep it clean. The 75 holding it down on the 71, saying, a little too close, but let me yellow real quick. And I don't blame him. That 26, though, a little bit of a bobble there. The 528 back behind him. That is Paul Stroman trying to catch his car. He does. The 53 lining up with him as well. The 53 of Carl Burke, again familiar with him as well. 57 drifted on behind him. That is Mark Sertog. But up at the front, we have a battle for the lead.
Yeah, 27. Almost to the point right there. 82's going to get a good run with the 67 being close enough to his bumper.
Oh no,
Mike Franklin blinking in and out. Scared me half to death because I just went to a loud camera.
Scared you. Yes, indeed. Oh, 3 wide.
Whoa, 3 wide here.
Oh, my goodness. 75, hold on to it. 75, 26, drifting back now. Oh, no, 528 around.
Oh, there it is.
3, 4.
4's in it.
Massive wreck. 23, 58, drifting by the 3, holding on to it.
3's wrecking.
Really doing a great job, man.
Oh, I think the 96 just got a piece.
You feeling okay?
Did he get a piece of that?
If he didn't,
He
good
did.
Lord.
He did. And Shorty Anderson avoiding the wreck as well. That extremely unbiased opinion of him. OCTV for the win.
Who is this in this 73? I don't think I recognize him.
He resides in what he calls a knuckle cave, so
Understandable. Well, it looks like up front these guys kept it pretty clean, but that bobble that caused that incident really started about near the 6th position. Of course, the transfer position here. So got to keep it clean, and these guys just weren't able to do it, as one bobble too many, and they ended up getting in a massive wreck.
yeah, that was just unfortunate for a lot of cars that had wrecked a lot of decent cars there. But of course, they still had the fast repair, so they can come down and try to fix their damage if they didn't have to tow. And pace cars got the field under control right now. We might
I'm taking a
be
look
looking
at
at
it.
pit stops here.
And the 528, the 4, the 53, the 57, a little bit of damage for the 57. The 3, the 23 saved it as best he could. The 28, the 58, all involved. And of course, right towards the end there, Jared Morgan came and got a little bit of damage from the 4 coming down the track as the 96 tried to make it by.
Looking to see what kind of strategy we have here. I believe we haven't had a caution yet first caution on the day. 82 and 67 just wow. 62 caught sleeping trying to get into pit road there. I don't know what was going on with that. Everyone's gonna almost guarantee the 82 and 67 come off 1-2 as long as everybody gets into their pit stall correctly.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just trying to make the. I mean, we have everyone pitting. Good night. Everyone is pitting here. We can't blame them because it's first caution. 67 down and away off of pit lane first. He will take that top position.
Yeah, good run. Good pit stop for that 67. Going to put the 82 on the outside when we go back to green. And Lucky Dog, I'm not sure, 743 Mark Lossing might have just got the wave around. So that'll put 27 cars on the lead lap. But big shakeup in the middle of the pack there with a bunch of fast cars getting chewed up and spit out here. Right now you're looking at, they still haven't made it back around to the start-finish line yet. We're going to wait to give you a top 5 rundown on that right quick. It looks like it's Blake Reynolds, Mike Franklin,
Brian Bennett,
Brian
Michael Smith,
Bennett,
and Jeremy Leto.
There we go. As it looks like the 101, I believe, just pulled off. Who was that? It was somebody pulled off and went down to the pits there.
Well, while we are waiting on these guys to make it back around to green, we're going to go ahead and pull Jeff up into the interview booth right now. Jeff Stabnow, of course, finished in the second position in our second duel of tonight. Jeff Stabnow, you got us?
I got you.
All right, bud. Well, talk us through that race because it seemed for the most part you guys were being pretty aggressive, being very defensive, as is your right, of course, trying to keep those top 2 positions. How did it work out for you?
It worked out pretty good, as you can see. I think the plan was to try to keep it up front there. I know I chopped off Jimbo a little more than I would have liked to that one time. I was a little committed before I realized how big of a run he had. But for the most part, we were just staying glued together and trying to keep each other up front.
Fantastic. Well, it seemed like it worked out pretty well. How do you think you guys are going to be for this Daytona 500?
Well, I hope we're going to be the same. We've got some pretty good cars, some pretty good guys. We've been running together. Everyone works together real well. So hopefully you'll see more of the same.
Fantastic. Well, we wish you guys the best of luck. Do you have anyone to thank?
Oh, first of all, I'd like to thank all the sponsors, especially Sim Stuff, Sargent Space Walls Beard Co. Obviously, you guys for putting on such a great show, and my teammates. What a fantastic team. We worked pretty hard for this, so thanks to all of them for the hard work we put in.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And again, that was Jeff Stabnow, our second place finisher in the second duel for tonight. And we are going to talk to the winner in just a moment. Our winner, of course, of the second duel was Mark Walls. Mark Walls is with us. Can you hear us, bud?
10-4.
Fantastic. Well, walk us through real quick how you think that race went for you. It seems like you got up front, and that was the rest was history.
That was it. Yeah, in order to win these things, you really got to start up front. The track position is just huge. The draft is so hard to try to make runs work without the right cars, the right setups. And that Walls Beard Co. Chevy was just bad fast.
Yeah, well, we noticed, and you think you're gonna have more of the same for the Daytona 500 coming up here?
Oh yeah, we unloaded with plenty of power for speed weeks, and we are all set, ready to go for the 500. I can't wait.
I hear you. Well, do you have anyone to thank?
Yeah, I got to give big thanks to Dog Bear Racing. Those guys are just awesome. The amount of work that goes into these things, the time we put into the setups definitely shows. Got to thank Walls Beard Co., primary sponsor. Got to thank Sin Stuffs and Sarge's Place. They're all on board with us at Dog Bear Racing. So we showed it tonight. I'm glad we performed well and locked in on that front row for the 500. So I'm pretty excited.
Fantastic. Well, we wish you the best of luck, and again, congratulations.
Thank you.
One more time, that was Mark Walls finishing in the first position in the second duel tonight. We are about to get right back to green. Wes, you think we're going to see a little bit more of this green flag racing we've been accustomed to?
Well, if what they were just doing was like a 5 on the intensity scale, I'm expecting an 11 coming out of here. Just gonna hit halfway when they take the green flag. Pace car is off. 67, Blake Reynolds leading the field to the stripe. He is gone.
Yeah, you can say that again. He's gone. 82 is gone with him, and the 71, 27 going to follow suit as well. Our first side-by-side battle, and there are many, is the 06 of Tom Drilling right beside 62 of Michael Lane. These guys are leading this massive pack behind them. We noticed that yellow car, the 60 of Thomas Love, lady trying to keep it up front here, trying to stay close to that transfer position. The 528 was right beside him. He is now drifting up with these guys as the 101 is stuck on the bottom there behind the 62. The 06 gets clear. The 48 now side by side with the 62 as our first battle on the track.
Yeah, we have 101's loose. 101's gone.
He's losing it. 60's out.
101 Andy Kennedy taking
Caution's
the wild
not out.
ride.
Caution
He's on
is
his
not out
lid.
yet.
He's on his lid in the grass. Going to flip back over. That mini machine 101 is destroyed. No caution,
the 60
though.
is down. 60's down on the pit lane. He won't be. And yep, 101 resets. So he will get a tow, and that will stay green.
Was just going to highlight, just going to highlight all of these teammates running together. And I didn't realize the 101 was a teammate of the 06 and the 62. They were hooked up there for a little bit. That really drawn out the field there, as looks like who is that? 528. That is Paul Sylvanik.
Yes, indeed.
He's got some heavy front end damage. His Alliance Racing machine. He's going to either have to get behind somebody or get in the sandwich in order to get some speed, try to catch up to that 62 in front of him. Mark McFadden right now, that is your battle for the transfer spot between the 48 and the 62, working their way down the backstretch here, trying to catch up to the 06 of Tom Dreiling, who has all but lost the top four. The top four have broken away.
Yeah, we've got the top four, bumper to bumper to bumper, and back behind him in fifth position, Tom Drilling's all alone. He is all alone as we had 2 by 2 by 2 now catching each other. The 48 leading a small pack that's starting to come back together. By the time they get to this 06, that 06 is going to be left out to dry. I have a feeling unless he protects that bottom side, these guys are going to try to go around him. Back behind him, the 57 making it interesting. Go to the high side, and I do mean the high side as he goes all the way against the wall. That is Mark trying to take that position from the 75. 75 almost was just not willing to give it away, but forced him all the way to the top. He was willing to go there as the 26 now drifting back up to back up to his teammate in the 75. The 57 now checked out.
And looks like the 96 Jared Morgan along with 309 of Bart Workman have worked their way to the back of that field, back of that pack, excuse me. Gonna leave Herzog out there to dry. Caution is out. Looking through the field. Oh, William Fletcher on his roof.
Oh, big incident. Massive incident, actually. Oh, my goodness. Oh, it was the 686. The 686 was to the high side and turned the 28 right into the wall. 686 of Jeremy Leto absolutely wiped him out. And I don't even want to count how many rolls he went through. And right towards the end there, 007 of Todd Labonte took him out.
Yeah, Fletcher, wild ride in that 28 machine. He is that car is destroyed. He's going to try to make it around the field though, and try to make it back to where he can try to use his fast repair. Yeah,
somehow the 28 has power. I'm not quite sure what's going on there, but whoever built his engines, you guys might want to look him up, because I don't know how in the world he still has any type of power after what his car just went through.
Well, it's got to be Robert Yates, right?
Something. It's got to do. I don't know what in the world that car just went through and is still able to hold on. Well, we're gonna go back live. Let's see what's going on. We've got the 67 of Blake Reynolds still holding that top spot. He has led 8 laps on the day. We've actually had a couple of leaders lead around the same amount of laps, so very competitive up front. We have the 82 behind him. That is Mike Franklin, 71 of Brian Bennett, the 27 of Michael Smith, and the 06 of Tom Drelling, able to hold on in that 5th position, and that's your top 5 so far.
And don't believe we should see any takers coming down pit road. They do have enough. I heard somebody grenade. I believe that might have been the 28 on the front stretch there. Let me see if I can find him.
Oof.
Yeah, that engine has grenaded. If he can make it back to his stall, he will be doing something. He is coasting at a smooth 26 mile an hour.
Oh, he's got it. Keep on going, bud. Oh, keep on going.
And let's hope he doesn't stop short.
Yeah, I think he's gonna make it, and honestly, I think that is the miracle of the day, if I can be honest. Yes, he is. Look at that pit stop, right there. That was he's gonna go down a lap, but it's worth a shout out because goodness, that car was toast as he was going through there. Well, guys, we're highlighting a few drivers throughout this field so far, and it's been a very eventful race. I'm trying to go through this right now, and the 48 of Mark McFadden, want to highlight him. Qualified 20th, is now up to the 6th position. So doing a great job, as well as the 75 of Jeremy Morrison, qualified 19th, now up to the 10th position. And even back on down to Jared Morgan, we mentioned, involved in that last incident, qualified 25th, up to 12th. And even back behind him, the 57 of Mark Herzog, qualified 28th, in 13th. So we've got a couple of drivers gaining some really, really good spots right now. We can see them work their way up through the field, but of course we're going to keep our eye on the top 10.
Top 6 more, specifically. Yeah, lot of good runs there. Tim Branson, the number 84, got the lucky dog. He's going to go to 2 laps down. We are working lap 32 of the scheduled 50 for duel number 3 here tonight for the Grandstand Sim Daytona 500.
You know, I say watch out for the top 10. You say watch out for the top 6. But I think based on what we just saw out of JD Willis, I think we should keep an eye on anyone 2 laps down. The 84 of Tim Branson. Hey, the 84 just got a lucky dog to go 2 laps down. Maybe he can come back and transfer. We don't know, because I don't know how JD Willis did that last race. It blows my mind when cars can keep getting lucky dogs and never give up, because at these drafting racetracks, anything can happen. I think that's what makes these really exciting.
Yeah, right now, as we're looking, 48, Mark McFadden, would be the transfer if the race ended right now. Which I do smell a little bit of rain in the area, so keep an eye on that. Big K. But Blake Reynolds out front right now, leading the majority of the race that we've seen so far. Or him and the 82 has split the duties for the top spot. Teammates behind them, the 71 and the 27. Tom Dreiling is going to have his teammates starting right behind him in the 62 of Michael Lane. Mark McFadden, the lone, looks like he's the lone. His next closest teammate is the 75 of Morrison, along with the 26 of Ernie Ludwig. I believe those are the Canada cars. I think Northern Lights Racing. Yeah, those are the Canada cars there. So should get 1 to go and next time by. And a 528 though, his front clip is all but straight.
I do want to mention, while we have a moment under caution here, we just interviewed Mark Walls, who was the winner of that second duel tonight, and we also interviewed Jeff Stabnow, who finished second. Now, someone we would have interviewed, however, is not able to make it into the TeamSpeak tonight, and that is Richard Hearn. Richard Hearn finished in the 7th position and therefore was the last transfer spot in that second duel. So again, we want to congratulate him on a very well-fought finish as he made his way up to that position and held on to it pretty tight. So it was very well done by him. And Really unfortunate for some drivers that had run up front and even led laps in that second duel, but that is unfortunately just the way it goes.
Yeah, we're working side by side with the field. Lights are off the pace car. Gonna get things going back to green flag conditions here momentarily. Yeah, congratulations to the dual winners, Michael Thompson and Mark Walls. One of these guys wants to add their name to that list here tonight. Definitely get locked into the pro split as well. Lot riding on the line for anybody near that transfer spot. They want to race in the pro split, get the experience, and try to make a good run, get in there with teammates, because there's a lot of the Dog Bear guys in that pro split now. There's a lot of the Alliance Racing guys in that split now. But you know, right now, in case you were just joining us, top 6 automatically transfer over to the pro split for the Daytona 500. The rest of the field will be set based off of qualifying times and their finishes in the duels. Qualifying time having the more weight to it. But you know, there's still a chance that somebody outside of the top 6 can make the pro split. And here comes the pace car off track now. 67, smashing the gas. Going to pull out to a decent lead there. Caught the 82 sleeping. Going to bring the 71 and the 27 with him on the bottom. Mike Franklin going to get left out to dry here as we are back underway in Daytona.
Yeah, really that top 5 kind of ran away there. As they're getting called back up to draft each other, this the rest of the top 10 right there is trying to catch up to him. That 82 is unfortunately going to fall back all the way side by side with the 06. Let's see if he can get clear here and then get down, because that's what he's going to need to do, because he's got a big train coming, and that train is too wide.
Yeah, too wide behind him. You have the 62 and the 48. The 48 getting under attack from the 01. Paul Sylvanek on the outside trying to help the 48, but with that damaged front into his car, he's not going to be able to help all that much, but keeping in the draft is helping Sylvanek. Oh, he's gone. 48, 01. 48's going to come back out onto. Oh, they saved it. Nothing's on the racing surface. Caution is not out. As the 01 takes the Kyle Busch Express lane into the infield.
Oh, the 60 hits the 53. He saves it though. Oh, very good save by the 60 there, and the 53 of Carl Burke, the 4 in front of him, the 73 in front of them, as they're making their way up through the field right now. But up front, we still have Blake Reynolds able to hold, and again, that top 5 still out there. Top 6 now has spread their way out in front of the 7th place car, which is Jeremy Morrison, who leads a pack of single file racers all the way back to 13th position.
Yeah, good move for the 48 to save it. 01 just kind of took him out there. Again, as Troy was talking about last race, 2 cars cannot occupy the same space. So
never have, never will. You are correct.
That's got to happen. End of this pack though, D Palmer in what looks like a city replication for Sim Stuff, which is pretty nice. All the Bravo had retro schemes on the car.
The 96 of Jared Morgan going down under that 26 of Ernie Ludwig, trying to make his way up through the field after being involved in an early incident. Let's see how he can do it. 96, familiar with him in the Northwest Truck Series. Let's see what he can do with his race car right now, as the 75 is leading this pack. This is the 2nd pack on the field. They're separated from the top 6 by about 0.5 of a second, so half a second to that first pack, trying to keep it single file, see if they can catch up.
They are definitely catching up. They have been a lot more organized than the top 6 have been, or the top 7 the last lap. So they're there. 75's knocking on the door of the 62. Michael Lane.
349 out of whack. Sorry, 309. 309 out of whack. That is Bart Workman. He was way out of whack there, as he's going to go all the way back behind this lane. Might even lose the draft if he doesn't hurry and get down below the 26, which is exactly what he'll do.
Yeah, Morgan's trying the high side. Nobody's going to come with him, it looks like.
26 is looking, but he's way too far
yeah.
back to even influence him.
Yeah, 96 kind of stalled out here beside the 528 of Paul Slavonic. Still trying to make that outside work. 26 with a side draft, a 23 back here. Ludwig trying to catch up to the 96. Doesn't look like he's going to do it here on the back straight. And the 75 pokes out a line. Jared Morrison with a big move, trying to get outside, gets in front of the 96, Jared Morgan. See if they can try to run that high side to the front. Pack behind them, being led by the 73 of Troy Anderson, has Brian Barnes and Drew DeLon behind him. They're getting organized. They're catching the second pack as well.
Yeah, I want to mention they are about a second and 2/10 behind this pack. Now this pack, the back of the pack is too wide, and that might help that second pack finally catch up to him. The 75 is leading that outside lane. That is Jeremy Morrison, always been around that transfer position, is now trying to find his way up to the front so he doesn't have to worry about that.
Look at this
position.
run.
And look at the line. My goodness, they are getting a nice little bump through here.
Yeah, 75 right beside the 27. They got pretty close there. Oh, lap down car. What are you doing, bud? Pulling off into the pits. And the 75 beside the 27 of Michael Smith as they cross the line. Going to put the 75 up to 4th. They are making a great run on that high side. Ooh, a little close between the 82 and the 26, but 75 getting a good side draft. 96 getting a good side draft off the 06. Going to have a good run down the backstretch here. As the top three have a little bit of separation in between each of those cars. 06 getting a good run.
Ooh, maybe not for long, as that 75 gets a big boost from the 96 Jared Morgan out in the back, trying to make their way up through here. The 06 had to check up quite a bit. 01, lap down car in the way, has to keep to the high side. 3Y for a moment there. 309 trying to make his way around. Luckily, they all get by that first pack. Palmer last in line, got past him cleanly. The 75 side by side with the 27. And I do mean side by side. They were touching that time as they scraped across the line. 9 laps to go.
Yeah, Jared Morgan made the move down to the bottom. Going to leave the 75 out to dry here. Morgan up to position number 4, and that's going to lead the 06 as a transfer as he's racing side by side with the 75. They touch a little bit coming down the backstretch. These 4 cars right here, they're the only ones that have a chance to transfer right now. As the 62 is coming up, 06 pretty slow. Going to get hit by the 82 in the middle of the turn. That's not exactly where you want to put the bumper to somebody.
Yeah, unfortunately,
there it is. 06.
Out of whack. Can he save it? He does save it. Goes back up 3 wide. Wow, what a great save by the 06 of Tom Drilling. Going to keep himself in play. Can the 62 catch up to him? They're going to want to draft bumper to bumper to catch up to this first pack as the 96 almost out of whack. Side by side with the 75. 75 trying to keep to the outside with his teammate behind him. That is the 26 of Ernie Ludwig. Now in the last transfer position, beating the 82 by a bumper. Remember that top 6 are the only ones that transfer.
Yeah, 96, 82. They're going to have to be makeshift teammates right now as they have 3 teams all around them. They've got Alliance in front, Canada to the side, or Northern Lights to the side, and the 06 and 62 are all teammates here. So 96 and 82, they have got to work together, try to get to the front here. They're kind of stuck right now with Northern Lights to their outside, the 75 and the 26. But they're trying. 27 gets a little squirrely, going to check up.
Ooh. Yeah, now the 06 trying to catch him, the 62 behind him trying to draft up. Ooh, the 71 goes to the high side. 27 follows him. A little bit of a blocking move from the 27 to that 75, saying, you know, if you want the outside. No, he's going to slow him down. Wow, what a massive block. That is maybe a massive block from 27. I don't think we've seen that
check
tonight.
Up in the
57
high side.
Having to check up. 06 going to make it through. 62 going to make it through on the bottom. But wow, what a very defensive move as the 96 is going to make it clear, and the 96 moves into the 4th position. Oh, 75 out of whack, guys. 26 catches it. They're going to go 3 wide. 57 side by side. Not going to work.
Oh, no, that's it. Oh, and they're wrecking up front still. 73 involved. 75 to 4 to 34. Big wreck. 96 of Jared Morgan involved as well. And a separate incident.
Oh, 27 is spinning up front, guys. 27 spinning up front. Michael Smith. Got to get going, bud. He had a spot.
27 hit the apron, got loose, got the 96 all done. 06 involved in it as well. Looks like Paul Slavonic got a little piece of it. That's going to shake up a lot of positions from pretty much third on back. A lot of people involved. That is the big one. And I believe we may not get back to green. If we do, it might be a one-lap shootout. We're working 5 to go now.
Ooh, the 309 having a lot of issues here. I think he's having way too many troubles. He was up in the top 6 when that caution first came out, but took way too much damage, is smoking, and I believe he is has a busted engine. So the 309 is out of contention. The 96 is smoking. He's way too far back. He's going to have to pit. The 75 is smoking. He's going to have to pit. Right now, looks like Brian Barnes. What an unbelievable way to make it through the field. Brian Barnes is in the 7th position, but in front of him, 528. Yeah, we've got to wait for the end of this because there's way too much changing of position going on right now. We will give you a rundown as soon as we know it.
Yeah, there's probably going to be a lot of admitting here for the race control to throw down on. A lot of people blowing engines, and a lot of people are getting past after the blown engines. So it's we're going to be looking at a lot of admitting here. We might be looking at a one-lap shootout. The field did catch up pretty quickly to the pace car, considering where the incident happened. But if we do go back to green, it will be a one-lap shootout.
Yeah. As they cross the line, we want to get a good feeling for what we've got. The top 6 is as follows: the 67 of Blake Reynolds, the 71 of Brian Bennett, the 82 of Mike Franklin, the 06 of Tom Drelling, the 23 of Dee Palmer, and the 528 of Paul Slavonic.
Yeah, just took out a lot of good cars there as we are pacing. We have 4 laps left here. 17 cars still on the lead lap, but that did take out a majority of the field, working a 3rd caution on tonight. Whew.
Yeah. We've had some interesting finishes to this race. Unfortunately, none of them have made it to the scheduled distance, at least 4 under green. But we'll see what we can make of it here. I don't know if we'll go towards the end. I don't know if we'll have a one-lap restart, but it's going to be very close.
And big here's looking at you, kid, to the 528. That front clip is destroyed, and he is now running in the transfer position. So big shout out to Slavonic right there, a part of the Alliance stable.
Yes, indeed. And I do want to give another shout out to the 01 of Brett Wade. He will receive your lucky dog, and he will be the 18th car on the lead lap right now. And while we have a moment, real quick, I'm going to pull in our last transfer from the 2nd dual race. That is Richard Hearn. Richard Hearn, you got your ears?
Yeah, I'm here.
Fantastic. It's good to hear from you, but we're trying to reach you because that was an exciting race. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I'm not the most computer savvy, so my teammate Michael Thompson had to get me on to you, but yeah, it was a little crazy. Kind of got stuck on the bottom there most of the race, and you know, I didn't want to take a chance to go up top, but I kept getting shuffled back, and then ran 12th with that, you know, 2 laps to go in that big wreck, and kind of pinball my way through to get that 7th spot.
I hear you. Well, it was very well done. Towards the end of that race, what were you thinking, trying to keep that 7th position?
Well, yeah, I was starting to panic a little bit. Like I said, I was on the inside. I was kind of pinned down, and my car, I was having a little understeer coming off the corners, and so, you know, I wasn't able to get a good run, and everybody's kind of pinching everybody down, and with about 5 to go, I think I was in 16th spot, and so I figured I better start making some moves, and honestly, it just got lucky, you know, I mean, that wreck, and I just kind of held it straight, and got hit 4 times, I think, and it worked out.
I hear you. Well, congratulations. Do you have anyone to thank?
Yeah, just my team, you know, Elite Racing. I got Michael Thompson and Tom. I don't know how that race went, so I don't know if he made it in the top split or not, so hopefully he did. And we worked. We probably put in a good 50 or 60 hours just working on this. So we got a little bit more work to do, and looking forward to next Sunday.
I hear you. Well, we wish you the best of luck, and again, congratulations on that transfer position.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely, and again, he is the 7th place finisher from the second duel, and that was the last transfer position for them. So a big congratulations to Richard Hearn for that.
All right, we should know now.
Yep, lights are off.
Lights are off. This is all going to ride on how good of a start you can get. And if you can set up somebody in front of you, give them a little bit of gap to where you can try to shoot your own gap towards the backstretch and coming off of 4. This is where the money is made here. This is where everything, teammates, little agreements during a race, everything gets thrown out the window. It's every man for himself.
Yes, indeed. Let's get ready to roll. '82's got a lot of damage, a lot of front end damage. Can he make it to the end? So does the 528.
And here we go. Blake Reynolds gonna have control on the field. Checkers or wreckers is basically what everybody's thinking right now. That's not
All or nothing.
You don't have racing in your veins.
That's what we live for. Brian Barnes made it through that wreck beautifully. Let's see if he can hold on to that position. The 60. Hey, now the 60 doing a great job. Thomas Lovelady. He's trying to make it the 3rd driver on that team to make it through the transfer positions. Can he do it?
All right, it all comes down to this. Only 2.5 miles remain here. They'll get the green and the white simultaneously. Green flag is out. They are stuffed up,
massive
checked
check up. The 60 to the outside, 3 wide. Oh my goodness, 3 wide. The 60 on the outside has it on the outside of the 27. The 23, D. Palmer having a tough time restarting. He's in the 5th position. 60.
Oh, 60.
Massive wreck back there. We're going to keep going. These guys are trying to keep up with it. Right now, we have the 71 battling the 528. 528 able to keep up to it. D. Palmer in 5th. In 6th position, we've got the 60. The 60 of Thomas Lovelady trying to make it past the 27. 27 of Michael Smith. This is the battle side by side. The 53 of Carl Burke trying to stick his nose in it. Can't get there. The 60, 27. This is your race with the final transfer position.
And the 60 has had connection issues right there. He's not going to be able to get the side draft off of that 27. Looks like he might have thorough-putted. But Blake Reynolds is going to win here in duel number 3.
Oh, my goodness. Tom Drilling almost made it up, but couldn't get there.
And some Tokyo in turn 1 here with the 67. He's happy.
Yes, indeed. What a finish we had. That 60 disappeared. Don't know what happened. It looks like he's being... Well, 60's being marked as 6th. I haven't finished as 6th position.
Yeah. Beat him by about 4 100ths of a second. We're going to have to go back and check tape.
Well, that...
Because he wasn't there.
He was not there. He was in another race finishing in 6th position, apparently, because he definitely wasn't in ours. Oh, my goodness. What a way to finish, I guess. I don't know what exactly happened. I guess if you're going to disconnect, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, we're going to go through your results here real quick and try to get a couple interviews. Blake Reynolds, your winner in duel number 3. We got Mike Franklin in 2nd. Paul Savanik made his way all the way up to 3rd there. Brian Bennett, D. Palmer, and Thomas Lovelady going to round out the automatic transfers to the pro split for the Daytona 500 next Sunday. Michael Smith just barely missed it. He finishes in 7th. 8th goes to Tom Dreiling, Carl Burke in 9th, and Brian Barnes is going to come home in the top 10. 11th goes to Mark Lossing, Todd Labronte in 12th, Mart Herzog in 13th. 14th went to Mark McFadden. Jeremy Morrison finishes in 15th. 16th went to Chris Beck. Brett Wade and Jared Morgan are going to round out the lead lap cars in 17th and 18th. Then one lap down, you have Troy Anderson in 19th, Stephen Paulison in 20th. Then you have Bart Workman 21st. 22nd was Tim Branson. Ernie Ludwig in 23rd. Michael Lane 24th. Drew Lalonde in 25th. Jeremy Leto 26th. And William Fletcher, Andy Kennedy, and Eric Holland going to round out your field in 27th, 28th, and 29th, respectively. But wow, that was just an amazing finish to that race. Did not expect that at all. Just great job by Blake Reynolds to make sure he stayed out in front there. Great job for the Houdini act for the 60 on finishing in 6th, because he was not there when we crossed the line. I'm not seeing things, and I
Yeah,
especially didn't see him.
No, you're
So-
correct. I was fearing because, like you mentioned, as soon as he blinked away, we assumed, well, he would have no draft and he would not. There's no way he could get that 6th position, but apparently he did. He was able to stay in it, and I don't want to say steal, but nab that 6th position.
Yeah. Ooh, that was intense right there.
Yeah, we want to wait and see if we can get any of the top finishers from this race in. But until then, we do want to pull in our own Tony Knuckles, who was in that race. Troy, got anything? Any insight to what just happened?
Well, on a technical side of things, got to work on that setup a little bit. I could have run way more tape than I did, and that was kind of costing me. Yeah, and then in the big one, I was already into the bank of the turn when I trying to pick my way through it, and I should have listened to Harry Hogg and went high. But yeah, well, I mean, it was a good race. You could tell that a lot of these guys had watched the first duel and a lot of the second duel, because I think we ran caution free until about lap 25, and that was conscious effort on a lot of guys' part. They were just trying to take it easy. I know I was running with the turn 5 guys, and we were just for a long time there, we were just running nose to tail and kind of waiting for the big one to happen, and we were all kind of strung out by the time the big one happened there at the end. Want to give a shout out to OCTV, obviously, Call Realty and SRN Motorsports, and Donovan with Volt Vapes, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. It's I think I learned quite a bit. I think we'll be better for next week. I'm not sure what split we'll be in, but it'll be fun either way.
I hear you. Well, we appreciate you jumping in. You were with us earlier in the night, and overall, I think we were treated to some very, and I'm going to use this word, interesting races. They were exciting. There's no doubt about that. But the way things ended up developing, I mean, we started with the 2 of Lionel Calesto trying his best to keep it up front and just couldn't. With the way the accidents fell, he was, led the most laps and finished 10th. That's just the way it is. Michael B. Thompson trying to make it clean, finished up in first and got a transfer position. So, we went backwards and forwards, and again in the second race, my goodness, J.D. Willis. I don't know what in the world he drank, but he got those 2 lucky dogs, and up to the front he went and finished in 4th. So these races have been just more interesting as we've gone along.
Yeah, definitely a great night of racing. Very, as you said, interesting is about the only word that you can use right now that is safe for TV. But just an amazing race. The triplets. We're gonna call them the triplets. So we're gonna hand it back over to Katie to get an interview.
Yes,
in here
indeed.
real
And I
quick.
just mentioned J.D. Willis, and while we have him, I do want to pull him in because I have to ask him a question that I just cannot wait to ask. J.D. Willis, you got us?
I got you.
I have one simple question, and that is how. How in the world did you manage to win 2 lucky dogs in that second duel and finished fourth?
I'm still trying to figure it out, but I got two very, very lucky breaks for those cautions. I just couldn't be more thankful for them cautions and getting back on the lead lap. Um, got hooked up with the right people in the draft and somehow ended up fourth. Lucky to have not gotten actually caught up completely in that big wreck at the end and to keep it straight to the finish.
Yeah, you could say that. Well, I tell you what, if you have half the speed that apparently you had in this race for the Daytona 500, I think you'll be just fine. Do you have anyone to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Dirty Dog Racing for having me come on this year. Aaron Schaefer and Ryan Hedrick, Matt Doza, David Hopkins, Larry Mathis, everybody that brought me on board this year. I'm still pretty new at iRacing. I enjoyed the heck out of it. I appreciate Mike for giving me the invite to the Pacific Majors this year, and I'm looking forward to this season to begin with the 500.
Understood. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it, and we wish you the best of luck in the Daytona 500.
Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. And again, that is JD Willis, who finished in the fourth position in the second duel. And we will be trying our hardest to get in the next driver. I believe the next driver we have is Mike Franklin. Mike Franklin finished in the third position tonight. Mike Franklin, you got us? I'm sorry, the second position. I apologize.
Yeah, I got you.
Fantastic. Well, that was a wild race. And towards the end there, you had a lot of front end damage. Can you walk us through what was going through your mind there?
Well, yeah, I knew I had a little bit of damage just with what I went through, and I just knew if I just stayed tucked up underneath my teammate Blake, that I knew I would stay right with him and move him right along.
Well, it seemed to work for you guys. I mean, you were doing a great job. You led 12 laps out of that race, so you were up front. It seemed for the majority of it. And did you have any thoughts to kind of attack towards the end there with that last restart with one to go?
No, it was just stay tucked up under Blake and just keep it floored and not even lift and just push him just as hard as I could.
Well, that it seemed to work for you guys, I have to say. How do you think you guys will fare for the Daytona 500?
But I think we've worked real hard on a setup, and and I think it really showed tonight with me and Blake, and with the way we were able to get hooked up, and I really think we've got a real good shot at the 500 come this Sunday.
Fantastic. Well, we do wish you the best of luck. Do you have anyone to thank real quick?
No, I just like to thank Riding Shotgun Motorsports for bringing me on this year, and all the teammates for all the hard work and all the effort they put into the setup and qualifying and everything, and just hope we all do a good job.
Fantastic. Well, again, we wish all of you guys on your team the best of luck, and hopefully you can keep that nose even a little more clean and try to get back up front there. And who knows, you guys could nab a win there.
Well, I'll tell you what, if it's the same thing Sunday, I will do the same thing. I will push Blake to the win, and I would hope he'd do the same thing for me.
I hear. Well, you guys have fun. Don't get into too much trouble, and we will catch you guys in the Daytona 500.
All right, thank you.
And again, that was Mike Franklin who brought it home in second position, following, as he said, Blake Reynolds for the most part under that race. And unfortunately, we can't seem to get in touch with Blake Reynolds. But he was your winner from the third duel tonight. And of course, as we mentioned, that hectic finish with the 60 and the 27. Unfortunately, for the 27, the 60 was just able to hang on with the blinking that was happening and get that last transfer position.
Yeah, it was a good run from Thomas Lovelady there at the end to hold off that 27 for that last lap. Those last lap dashes are always difficult. Unless you're the leader, basically. But yeah, 3 good races tonight, 3 pretty good finishes. I'd have to say that this was an overall great night for the Grandstand Pacific Majors duels or triplets. But anyway, our next broadcast for Off Camber TV will be this Tuesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern. That'd be 6 Pacific. For you guys out there on the West Coast, we are broadcasting the ASRS Truck Series. shorter races than what we normally broadcast, but that could lead to some better racing. Full truck field, so come catch us on Off Camber TV's YouTube site. And then next Sunday for the Pacific Majors, we are broadcasting Sportsman Split #1. So most of these guys that we've been talking about all night, we won't see them next week. But good luck to them, all of the guys who locked themselves into the Pro Split. And all in all, great night. But for Katie Reed, Tony Knuckles, and Cafe Olay on the ones and twos, I am West the Mess. We want to thank you for watching, and we will see y'all next time.